welcome to Dip a Toe.
Welcome, welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
how are you, Keda? Today we've got Keda with us again. I'm happy that she's agreed to be my co-host.
Hmm.
Simon says crypto is not able to join us this evening, but he did say that he will be in the chat. So
Okay.
we will see him around a little bit later tonight, hopefully. Um,
Sounds like
how
a
you
plan.
doing, Keda?
I am winding down. And it's crazy that I'm saying I'm winding down as we're about to have this conversation. However, it's been a very long day, crazy day. I can't even tell you. Hot mess
Mm,
express. But
same.
it's good. It's good. And all I'm gonna say is the day's done.
Mm, mm. I got home from work and I was like so tired. And I thought, man, I would just love to curl up and just go a little night night. And I was like, nope, it's
Yeah.
go time, girl. You gotta get your stuff together and let's roll.
You know
And
what's really interesting is that, like, especially like being so those who don't know, I'm a nurse and I'm at a doctor's office and people think to themselves, oh, that shouldn't be that bad. Man, listen, some of y'all folks dealing with y'all on a daily basis. Some people, my goodness. I, I sometimes I sit back and I'm like, really? And my brain
it
power is it's crazy because you don't realize how much energy you expend just utilizing brain power. And I'm exhausted, and I didn't really do too much of nothing. So
mm,
mm,
yeah, I'm just mostly, I work in accounting and I
mhm,
do a variety of things. Like I'm kind
mhm.
of like the operations manager of the entire office. So I'm kind of
Okay.
wearing many hats because we're kind of a small company and so we don't have our own HR and things like that. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of doing all of that stuff and right now it's open enrollment
Ooh,
and terminations and all this kind of stuff and
terminations. Oh
well
no.
because we do medical education and the resident doctors they're usually with us for either 4 or 5 years and then
Okay, that makes
they
sense.
complete the program, they go and they get their jobs and stuff and then we have a new batch coming in every year and so we pretty much keep the same amount of folks that those leaving
Right,
and those coming um
right.
but it can get a little chaotic at times and this happens to be the time of year when it's go time. And
I
so
understand.
I have my thinking cap on. I want to say hello to the new mindset and crawfish friends. Thank you. And the 9 of you that are watching us live right now, thank you for joining the Dip a Toe show. If you'd please smash that like button and share this out, we sure would appreciate it. We can get more people in here. Looks like we have someone joining us. Um,
Who is that?
Oh, let's see here. Well, this is a very special
Mm.
guest.
Hey,
Um,
hey.
let's see. Kombucha, our friend Kombucha is
Ooh,
going to join us.
hey. How are you, Miss
Hey,
Kombucha?
Hey, lady, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. I hope you are as
fantastic.
well.
I'm doing okay, doing okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna dip our toe into a little different type of topics today.
Hmm.
There I'm sure those of you that are watching this show are there you're already knee deep or eyeballs deep into the crypto space and some of the things that are going on. But for those of you who are not, um, there's some very important bills and things flying around here lately.
Yes,
Uh,
there are.
Congress has really stepped up to the plate in it's showtime. Let's just say that it's
You know what it
showtime
is?
for these
It's the
folks.
movie. It's
It,
the
it,
movie.
mm, it is a movie that we're
It's the
watching,
movie.
and this is the part of the movie where it starts to get very interesting,
Yes,
and
it is.
it's already there. I think it's the part of the movie where we really need to give some of this attention because making decisions, they're making definitions, creating definitions, creating rules and laws. And a lot of times they put things out there for public opinion and all these types of things. And so if those of us that are giving this space our attention, which is a very small percentage of the overall world population,
Yes.
if we don't pay attention or give attention to this and start talking these things out and try to figure out what they're hiding in these things,
Right.
who's going to do it?
I agree. And it's important because it affects everyone. It's not just the people that are in this digital asset space. It actually is affecting the global population. This and I really need to make sure that I put emphasis on this because in a lot of instances, people look at digital assets, and I'm using those terms very strategically. I need y'all to hear me on that. Okay. When it comes to these digital assets, people always look at things like this is just a US thing, and that is a very like
Small.
nearsighted view of what we have going on right now. And I think it's important. I know that C-SPAN is probably not the most riveting television that anyone could watch, but I think it's probably one of the most important things that you could watch at this stage, in this moment, in this time frame. Because they are literally passing laws that are going to affect every aspect of your life right now.
100%. And actually, C-SPAN, I mean, you can create a free account.
Yep,
You can
sure
clip
can.
videos from within there. And one thing I will say, and I do, although like I said, it's a very busy time right now, so I haven't had as much time to be able to listen. Usually I can listen to things
Right.
at the same time as I'm working.
Mhm.
I just have a mind that kind of works like that. I actually need it to be that way. But
Mhm.
right now I'm on like strict focus mode. And so I haven't been able to listen into as many of them. But one thing that I noticed that it cracks me up is because it's my opinion and it sounds like it's yours that we're watching a movie. And so they seem to make these a little bit entertaining for us at times. Whether it's the weird guys in the background when they're questioning people, or whether it's just the senators themselves making crazy
Or
comments.
the 6-year-old in the back, like making crazy faces while somebody's
Right.
debating or making a statement. It's crazy. I want to give a shout out to all the people that have joined so far. I'm
I
seeing
know.
shout outs from Queen of the Nile, from Miss Becky. I see Miss Rosemary out there, Cat Blue, and I also see Crawfish. I wanted to just welcome you all and say thank you for coming and hanging with us tonight. This is such a great experience and great time to really be able to hash things out and talk about it. So let's dip a toe and let's get into it.
Yeah. Before we move on, hey Kombucha, do you have anything that you want to add before we move on to this next little topic?
Well, to be honest with you, I signed up through that link, and I didn't know that. Does everyone have their little video thing or up there up front, or is it just me, the three of
Oh,
us?
it's just the three of us. If you this is live, and so you can contribute to the conversation and join in. If you don't want to do that, you can listen to the YouTube link and then talk within the YouTube or
The
the Rumble
chat.
chat. It's
Yeah,
up to you. I was
I've got the
excited that
chat here. Oh no, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to get there. Listen, you ladies are by far on the cutting edge of information, farther than I will ever be. Okay,
not
so I
true.
always leave it up to you ladies to lead the flag for us. Fly that flag
Okay.
high. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan, sister. We appreciate you so, so much.
We
I
love
appreciate you.
you, and we'll see you in the chat then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All
love
right.
you, lady.
Love
Latest.
you, girls.
All right, so I misunderstood. That's okay. I before we go on to talking about some of these bills, I thought since you and I both kind of, and probably most people that watch this show, follow XRP and they understand what Ripple and XRP are doing. And there was a congressman or a
Ooh,
senator
that was asking
talking
questions of the ladies.
today. Yeah. And
That
I
was
just
so
thought it
good.
was hilarious. So I thought I would like to share that, and I'm gonna make sure
Please.
that that I share my volume this time. But let's see if I can get it on here.
Ooh, this
Uh,
is so good. I
oh,
love
it's
it. I have seen this
fun.
clip. I love it.
And if we have, so let's just sort of think about this. You've got a bunch of different tokenization systems. And you want, ideally, you do want different countries, you want global commerce. Wouldn't you need a central bank, sort of one central, not necessarily reserve, well, sort of like a reserve currency where everybody could exchange their tokenized assets and trade them? Wouldn't that require one central bank currency to sort of settle all that out? That one that everybody recognizes and respects?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the benefits of tokenization depend on there being a settlement asset, right? And some people say that stablecoins should be a settlement asset. I think that is a terrible reason because of all the fragilities of stablecoins that I've testified about before. So I really think that the settlement asset has to be some kind of central bank money ultimately.
All right.
And if you want that on the ledger, it's probably going to have to take the form of some kind of central bank digital currency. Now, this doesn't have to be a retail product, and I want to emphasize that because I'm not sure where I sit on retail central bank digital currencies, but a wholesale, the plumbing, central bank digital currencies, something like that would be needed as a settlement.
But obviously, if the Federal Reserve Bank is not allowed to operate in that space, it's going to be a central bank, some other central bank. It won't be ours. It'll be, EU or China or some other central bank that'll be the settlement, the central bank currency of choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works without the US Fed being able to issue us.
The gentleman's time's expired, I reckon.
Huh?
Can we say XRP without saying it?
I wonder what he was talking about. I mean, I just don't know of any other. Yeah, like really. I think, and this is where I think it's funny because now obviously we think it's funny because we've been following this space for a while, and so we know darn well what he's talking about.
Of course we do.
And this back and forth, and even her, her responses were pretty interesting. But I just got a big kick out of it. That it's like, how many other things have happened over the course of my life where I wasn't giving it so much attention, and I didn't realize how these things are so predetermined, right? These things are all worked out, and how we've always talked about, problem, reaction, solution.
Right.
They're creating these things. I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were talking about, I think it might have been David Schwartz, where, the technologies that we've had that's come before this, it's usually the governmental entities that create them and implement them, universities, governmental agencies, those types of things, before they really catch on in the public space. And so it would be wild if it was any different than the way that, than the way that they've always done. I want to say hello to the 34 folks that are listening and joining us today. That's very awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Cat Baloo says, or let's see, first of all, Cat says settlement asset. Yeah. Live and Learn, welcome, says, wonder if that's code for settlement is here. That's a good question. Could be. It could be like I don't even know if it's exactly tied to that, because I feel like the whole thing just kind of in what Live and Learn is referring to, for those of you that aren't aware, Ripple, the company that
Hmm.
had a hand in creating the XRP digital asset, they were sued. A
Right.
couple of the people were sued, and they've been going back through calling it a security, and the SEC had sued them, and so it's been a long drawn out case. And
Hmm.
all of us that have been giving this attention are waiting for that end, where it's just over. But I really think that a lot of this is, like I say, the problem reaction solution, where they know that this asset has been created. They've been testing it out around the world, signing up all these different banks and payment providers and things like that. And so when it's ready to go, they want to
Hmm.
have absolute legal clarity. And so, sometimes if you have to go kind of through the motions
Hmm.
of something and get that legal clarity without it getting out of control. And so, I kind of think that this was a planned event, but that's my opinion.
Of course it is. You have to think about it like this. Why is it that the US is the last to decide they want to come around with some
Mhm.
type of legislation? I
Mhm.
mean, it only makes sense that they were waiting for however many other countries that were going to come up with legislation, see how well those things go, and
Mm.
then take the good from that, and then also come up with their own specifically for, the United States. Now, does
Yep.
that mean that I feel like the United States was the end all be all see all when it comes to when things happen and all of that? Not necessarily, but I do notice that their role in this was to police the space, it seems like,
Yes.
because it seems like
Yeah.
the only enforcements that we've seen have been in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying that's where you've seen people actually having real world consequences for their parts in whether
Yeah.
it was nefarious acts, whether it was not being transparent, whether it was doing something that might be associated with terrorist acts or things that are nefarious in nature. So, for me, I'm always taking a look at those things, you know. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out.
Me too. Cat Blue says, I think they needed to let everyone else go first. It would take down the entire world if the US went first. I agree. I agree with that, Cat.
Yep.
Also, I mean, a lot of us that hold XRP, hypothetically hold it anyway, or in theory, we're little guys trying
We're working
to
on it. We're
give
working
us
on it.
a little bit of future opportunity. But I think there's the saying about the level playing field when it comes to the XRP. And when you start to do a little bit more research on what it actually can do, which is what this gentleman was talking about that I just played, exchanging value for value. And as things become tokenized, more and more things are tokenized and put on the ledger. You want that neutral bridge asset that is
Mhm.
not you don't want a central digital currency of from any country.
Well, that's run by specifically by the country, and I think
Right,
that
like the
is
US dollar is right now.
right,
Look what we
right,
do. Look at the
right,
power
right.
that it's been given, and the abuse of that power. Um, and so when you have technology
Hmm.
that is created, and the fact that the countries around the world have been implementing this, they've been testing it out. Of course, they have smaller economies and whatnot, and some of them didn't even have like great built out financial systems to begin with. And so that's much easier for them to implement something new than it is for them to start over. So I just think that it's a lot easier um, for a country to start fresh from the ground up. And the fact that they have been testing it and they've been buying it, they're getting that level playing field by being able to participate early in this space.
And I think it's even a little bit more than that, Melissa. I think in that, because we talked about the level playing field for a long time, and when it comes to a level playing field, that means all third world countries. That means any place that, is out there that may have people that are unbanked need to be banked in some way, right? And that's where all of these digital assets come into play, not just XRP, but let's talk about XLM and XDC.
Yep.
XLM is peer to peer, right? And if XLM is peer to peer, then that's going to be a great asset for people to be able to utilize. They have wallets specifically for XLM, right? XDC is going to be dealing with smart contracts and then also tokenizing the stock market. So when you think about these X assets, which are so key and so important, we really need to make sure that we understand all the aspects of it. XRP is, and here's the thing, XRP is important for exchanging value. It
Value
does
for
not
value.
necessarily mean money. See,
Exactly.
that's the thing that people are
Yep.
missing out on. We're talking about, now they have XRP Health. XRP Health is specifically for EMRs, which is electronic medical records. And if you think about what that can do for the world, it means continuity of care. It means that if you go into another country, they can go right onto the blockchain, get your EMR, and make sure that you have consistent treatment every single time.
Yep.
And it could be an NFT, which is a valuable thing. Let's not talk about the fact that you can even utilize an NFT to have a deed on a house. You can do that
Yep.
now, right?
Yep.
And that's a value. It's an asset which can then be traded. So when we're thinking about these assets, and I keep saying those words on purpose, because a lot of times people always think of cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency. I'm going to give you some information that I got from a very, very influential person, and he told me to my face, every single cryptocurrency is going to be gone. Digital assets will always be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to really be aware of that and start thinking about that and how it affects us and how we can move in that system appropriately. Because those people that aren't aware of it now are going to get lost in the sauce. And I'm
Yes.
concerned for all of them.
Yeah.
I
Me
am.
too. I just hope that some of our conversations will inspire others to just, dip a toe into this
Yes.
space a little bit, just whatever it is, looking into a bill. Well, why are they doing that? I just posted something. One of our friends in another one of our discords that we both go to. They posted about a video about the taxonomy, the digital asset taxonomy, and I was trying to find my post about it. I thought I posted it, but I found something on Wisdom Tree that, and actually, maybe I should share this too before. There's so many things that are going on right now all at once. You can
Yes.
literally take
Yes.
your pick of what direction that you want to try to dip a toe in and just learn a little bit. You don't have to be a genius. I'm not a
Yes.
genius. Keda's not a
Not
genius.
at all.
We're just trying to figure out, you know, I do want to circle back to Live and Learn. Live and Learn was, she had said, he or she had said, I meant the Ripple case being settled, because they had made a comment on that, and said that she noticed that the woman had said multiple times, even though she was talking about description, she didn't have to say it that many times, and that's what made her them think that it was a code. And
Right.
you're probably right, and I agree
Yep.
with you that they do tell us things right out in the open, and
And
it's a
have to.
whether they choose their words wisely.
Absolutely.
And unless you understand what the word means and the context in which they're using it, you might just gloss right over it. I used to. A lot of times I would listen to things
Yes.
and I would pick out you know, the real easy things that they want you to pick out, and they want you to focus on the same things that the other senators will use as talking points to argue back and
Right.
forth about, but they
Right.
completely don't talk about the important things that were said. And they're the little slip-ins that you're like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What does that mean? And that's what I love so much about this space, is that there's so many people that I can go to at any given time of the day and say, did you hear what they said? What did you, oh, like, yep, I heard it. And we understand because we've been giving this attention.
Well, I
Rose,
want to say hello to Miss Rosemary, and I also want to say hello to Miss Willie Pete.
Willie
Hello,
Pete,
hello, hello, hello.
we
We
love
see
you,
you,
beautiful
and
friend.
we love you.
Oh, yeah, and then Kat says America XRP is America's only saving grace. Had they lost their case, they would have they would have all moved overseas. Yeah,
Yes,
I think
that's true.
I mean, a lot of it, a lot of the industry did move overseas, right? They've been
Yeah.
testing because they were able to do it over in other countries where they haven't been able to. Tiara, knowledge is power. That's right, my friend. Yeah,
Yes.
I think these conversations are important too. And we want to make them fun. We want to make them fun. This doesn't have
Absolutely.
to be oh, Live and Learn is kombucha. I didn't know that, my friend.
Oh, hey.
All right, there she is. She's back in the game here. I didn't realize that she was in the chat. But in any event, earlier, someone had shared a subjective views post where they were the CFTC commissioner Caroline Pham gave an update on the digital asset taxonomy. I'm probably saying that wrong, framework. And so I was going to share that if you don't mind. Let's see here if I can get it up there. Then I add it to the stage, and let's see. All the way back.
In less than a year, the GMAC has adopted 11 recommendations on a variety of issues, including U.S. Treasury market liquidity, well-functioning repo and funding markets, exchange volatility controls, T+1 security settlement, improved collateral management, CCP default simulation, streamlining trade reporting data to monitor systemic risk, and a foundational taxonomy for approaching digital asset regulation. These recommendations provide thoughtful and transparent guidance for the CFTC and our counterparts around the world. For example, I've heard from various international stakeholders that the digital asset taxonomy is garnering attention around the globe as various jurisdictions are continuing to implement and understand how to approach crypto asset regulation. And then last but not least, the Digital Asset Markets Subcommittee worked on and the GMAC approved the publication of an approach for the classification and understanding of digital assets. And here, the GMAC found that a clear consensus-driven approach to classifying assets and the functions they serve will underpin robust markets and effective regulation. The evolving digital asset ecosystem has led many to develop proprietary taxonomies to classify digital assets and their related technology. In recognition of this progress, the GMAC subcommittee has engaged digital asset stakeholders across the broader ecosystem to build a common approach for the classification and understanding of digital assets. This approach aims to set out consistent language for participants in the digital asset ecosystem to promote innovation, identify and address risk considerations, and enable effective regulatory understanding. With this objective in mind, the approach builds upon the considerable classification efforts of global prudential standard setters and regional authorities, including the Bank for International Settlements, the FSB, and others. The GMAC had recommended that this approach be considered an initial basis for consensus-driven functional taxonomy. And as the digital asset ecosystem continues to evolve, so too will the terminology used to classify it. The subcommittee plans to reassess any future developments to provide further recommendations to this approach based on the guidance of its members. And the subcommittee seeks to support effective rules and regulations for digital assets and recommends continued collaboration between industry, standard-setting bodies, and the regulatory community. As I mentioned earlier in my remarks, this document has proven to be incredibly useful as foundational guidelines for developing a common understanding across jurisdictions for how to approach digital assets. And indeed, I think it's been a helpful educational document and resource for U.S. policymakers as well.
I think that's very important.
I think it is.
And so when I looked it up, I found the wisdom tree, which is also something that I had come across on, I don't know whether it was Citizen of the Future or XX113, one of those accounts that built out those maps, you know. But Wisdom Tree was in there. Wisdom Tree was in there. And so I found this article or well, what do I want to say? Let's see if did I add it to the stage yet? No. I found this Wisdom Tree Digital Asset Taxonomy, a framework for the complex crypto ecosystem. And so basically, this is all I want to share, and then I'll put the link in the description box below. But you guys can find this if you just type digital asset taxonomy and wisdom tree. This should pop right up for you. But it is the categorization or map of the digital asset ecosystem that investors and non-investors must be well versed in. So this is something that, I mean, and it's got the case for it, the deep dive, the learn more. It is a wealth of information that I think would be very helpful for those of us that are giving this some attention, that I think it would be helpful. And one thing I picked up on, and like what we were just talking about with the United States appearing to come from behind, these other countries, they're already laying this out. So they're
But I
already
don't
coming.
think that. I just don't think I just don't think the U.S. is behind.
Well, they're not
I think
really. It's
no,
a
they're
wink,
not.
wink. It's a wink, wink. It's a wink, wink.
That
It's a
part.
pretend. It's a pretend. But I also think that it's supposed to look like they are.
Mhm.
And quite frankly, I don't know whether they're being made to, which is kind of what I think, because there's been so many crimes committed against humanity and the world, that I think that this is the time, this is the level playing field, and the rest of the world is being given a huge voice right now. And these countries are stepping up to the plate like we've never seen before, with an actual opportunity to really, for real, get out of the situation that they've been in. That's my hope and dream anyway. I'm a
And
very
here's the
optimistic
thing.
person.
And here's the thing about that, though. I mean, every place that trades money in the world, I'm not talking about just the U.S. I mean, in the world, has to be available and has to be ready to be able to transact with other countries and other places.
Yes.
This is what we are talking about when we talk about the level playing field.
Yep.
Digital assets allows that to happen because if you have the internet, you have the ability to be able to transact with other people, period. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And these places that are maybe remote, they may not have a bank. They may not have a credit union. They may not have some other things, but they darn sure have a cell phone.
Yep. Yep.
They darn sure have that. And if they have a cell phone, they have a means to be able to put a daggone wallet on their phone.
Yep.
Hey, Simon, I thought I saw you on there, Mr. Simon Says. How you doing?
Cat Blue says they're already trading digital assets in the petro industry. Yes.
Absolutely.
And so, and so before we get to really talking about some of these bills, I do like the way this conversation is going in regards to the world and the level playing field. And, and I don't I don't know everything, guys. I'm just giving you my speculation from one little gal in a in a town that's trying to give this stuff some attention, and from what I see, and I look at I don't really watch mainstream news. I kind of am looking at a lot of different types of news stories, and these other countries have their own channels that pop up on YouTube, and you could kind of get a feel for what's really going on when you actually listen to their own news, right?
Mhm.
And actually we got Simon here. Let's bring him in. Hey, Simon. But anyway, before we chatting with Simon, the thing that's really cool is all of these countries that have been held back, like I say, their infrastructure wasn't there. And they have had all of these years to start building something, and so that they are going to be ready. Hey, Joe Schmo.
What's
CB Great.
up?
CB Great. Thank you. So they're getting this opportunity to get themselves ready, like you said, Keda, to be able to participate and to be able to, if they're ready to go when all this stuff gets turned on, ideally, everybody can have a seat at the table,
But I think it's a situation where they have to be available. It has to be where they are on that level playing field because if one country is out of whack,
Yep.
can you think about the repercussions that would be for the rest of the world? Because that means that means the rest of the world won't be able to actually transact with that country.
Train has left the station.
You know what I mean? And didn't Rosie Rio say that? The
She
train
showed
has
in.
already left. She said the train has already left the station. We kind of just, we trying to follow it. I got my
Simon
running
Says.
shoes on. Do you? Hi, Simon Says. What's happening?
You muted yourself. You muted.
Sorry, what's going on, ladies? I was lying in bed trying to get some rest, listening to the show. A little late.
We were so good you had to jump on in and dip
I was
into
like,
it.
I was just like, I gotta get on. I gotta wake up,
Yeah.
get on. And I was like, no, I'll just listen. And I was listening to the video that you all were just doing. I'm like, damn it, where's my shorts? I'm going downstairs. Turn on the machine right now.
You know you was going
I'm so
downstairs
not
with no
taking
shorts
care of
on, don't
myself
play.
right now, man. It's so hard. It's so hard. But that was some good. That was some good. That was a good video. Good information there. What really got me going on is the tax economy.
Taxonomy.
Taxonomy, right? And that relates into like another topic that I'm kind of into, and that is the transformation of Iraq. I'm just going to leave it there. But one of the things that they are doing right at their ports, because they're going full all digital, right, so to speak. As soon as you come into their port, as shipping port, you basically, in a roundabout way, you scan your IDs, QR code, and the tax is immediately taken at that point before you even offload, no transfers, no nothing. So this word that just came up today in this video, I was like, oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
They threw it in there. There it is, like it or not. But
Well,
it's there.
they're gonna get their money anyway, though, Simon.
Right.
And you already know
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. You know, that's that's really, really, really interesting. And then as she was explaining things kind of at the end, or just really, she was highlighting bullet points. And there was one of them that was at the end. I think it had to do with risk, right? She only said the word risk. She didn't say risk for who, risk assessment for what, right? Like where are you coming from, lady? Like, I like you. You look intelligent. I like it. But what side you playing on now? Come on.
Her side. Her side is where she's playing on. Her side.
Yeah,
Okay?
right.
And it's interesting that we have seen that. And I love this community, and I love the brains in this community, because we will pick things apart to the nth degree. We gonna
Yeah.
pick it apart.
We break out the tools. We're like, let me see this.
Right.
Yeah. That's
one thing I will say is, somebody had a comment in the chat, and they said, this is from Tiara. She said, these assets will empower everyone everywhere. Financial freedom should be a right for all. And you know what? I do agree with that. However, here's what I will say. When it comes to this, and especially with the amount of people that are in it, and I can speak for myself. I probably can speak for Melissa and for Simon when it comes to the amount of people that we have tried to bring along, the amount of people that we have tried to tell this to, and we've gotten the glassy-eyed, deer in headlights look like, what are you talking about? What? And then on top of that, these are people that you probably know and you would think would trust you, right? So if that's the case, and they don't listen to you, and they're not trying to hear you until they get the cosign from the powers that be, that this is what it is. And by the time they get that cosign of this is what it is, they're going to be lost in the sauce. They're not even going to be able to get it by that time, because they're going to end up being priced out. And that's the sad part about it. Yes, everybody should be able to have, that financial freedom. Because I tell you what, when my parents were growing up, one income did it for the entire family. This you can have 4 or 5 degrees, and then the next thing you know, you go out there and you still can't even make enough money to support your own daggone self. Now what? And this is the life that we're living right now. You know what I'm saying?
I say, for those of our family and friends and innocent bystanders that came along and dipped a toe tonight, this is your opportunity to give this your attention right now. If you think back in history where, whether it was Amazon or Apple or any of these things, where back in the day, when they were first coming out, they were talking about on the news, they were talking crazy talk, and they were saying like, oh, that's crazy. No one's ever going to adopt that. They were laughing. They were pretending they didn't know what it was. And until they really started talking about it in a favorable light, and celebrities started pushing them and things like that, the retail didn't really come on, right? We didn't really jump on the bandwagon. And by the time we were able to jump on, it was already, way up high. And so right now, yes, this is a speculative market. This is a risk. That is true. That is true. Not financial advice, but if you look at this space as a whole, and you look at the world and the economy, and you understand anything about the dollar and the history of money, and know that, it was never meant to last in usually 80 to 100 years, and it's got to be redone again over and over again. And you just even do a mild glance back at history and see what was going on in the world during these, money transitions, it makes sense It's plain as day what we're in right now, and what we're at is an incredible opportunity to buy into things that are the future of our financial system. You don't just have Joe in his basement talking about it. Sorry, Joe Schmo. I didn't say Joe Schmo. But you don't. I mean, that's why he probably named himself Joe Schmo, because people say you don't have just Joe Schmo while
I'm just
talking
an
about it.
average Joe Schmo.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the average Joe Schmo. You don't just have that. You have people, world leaders, talking about this stuff, and there's a lot difference between putting $500 and buying an asset that's 50 cents right now, to being able to buy an asset when it's $100 a piece, right?
Yes.
And then
And
as
that's the part.
it,
That's the
I
part
mean,
that makes it so crazy. That's the part that makes it so crazy. At the
yeah,
end of the day, right now, this is pennies on the dollar, right?
pennies on the dollar, people.
Pennies on the
Pennies
dollar.
on the and not to mention, this is the other thing I wanted to mention, and then I'm going to shut my mouth. The whole accredited investor thing, okay? The people have the richies, or the people that make these laws and these rules, so we're going to finally get around to addressing at some point during this show, the ones that have made the rules where you're not allowed to participate in these early startup companies for pennies on the dollar, because it's far, far too risky for you and for me and Joe Schmo to put our money in. It's far too risky for us, and because we don't make $1 million something a year, so we're not accredited. Okay. This time in history right now, there is not that limitation on you. You actually have an opportunity to get in on the ground floor. I mean, we're a couple levels up now, but we're still early stages. This is your opportunity to just give it a little bit of your attention, even just a little bit of your attention, especially you folks that have you're already starting to retire, and you maybe had 10 jobs where you have a $2,000 401k here and a $3,000 IRA there. You could do something with that money for real right now. There is opportunities for you to do it, and all you got to do is give yourself a little bit of time and give this a little bit of attention, and boom, you could set yourself up and your whole future generations forever. So mic drop.
I'm gonna piggyback on both what y'all said. And none of this, I resonate with this 110%. Everything that y'all just said in regards to get in. This is the opportunity. Wake up. This is the opportunity. I was listening to first one I'll talk about is and I'm gonna screw up his name, and brother man, I'm so sorry, but I was listening to Mr. Man. He was on a video with these other two cats. One of them was Aquaman, Mr. Aquaman, and the other one was Cyphrix.
Cyphrix, yeah.
Is it
Cyphrix.
Cyphrix?
Cyphrix.
Okay,
Yes.
bro, I didn't screw up your name. I've been screwing it up for
Yes.
weeks when I talk to people about it.
Cyphrix.
Anyways,
Yes.
in this video, he was talking some church, and that was that y'all are choosing ignorance right now. You're choosing it, and like he went down some hard love, some tough love, saying like okay, you don't know something cool, you don't know, but you have the opportunity right now to know. The boat has not left, but you're choosing to let that boat go by. You are every day, you're actively choosing to be ignorant, man. And I was like, yeah, well said. He articulated a very, very well.
Do you know what that's called? Do you know what that's called, Simon?
What's that?
That's called the shift of a paradigm.
Yeah, paradigm shift.
Paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
People don't know.
Another one, dang it, man. There was another one that Alan Staple talked about last week on the same thing, that this is your opportunity to get involved with this. Oh, and it was this. Melissa, you mentioned it's risky.
Yeah.
I would agree with that on some level.
It is.
It's not as risky today as it was yesterday.
True.
Okay.
True.
Now I know now y'all gonna bash me because I'm about to talk about Bitcoin, but this is just real talk. Screw it. I'll talk about XRP. I'll do XRP.
No,
if
talk
you wanna
about
talk
Bitcoin.
about
No,
No.
this is good. It's
Let's
both. It applies to all.
talk about
It applies to all.
Yeah.
Bitcoin was a lot riskier to be in Bitcoin at $70 than at 70,000.
Yep. 100%.
Right? Far riskier, right? Because if it's at 70,000, more deep pockets can now play, can be involved, can participate. That's adoption. XRP, it's far better to be an XRP now at 50 cents than 0.002 cents back in the day, right?
You don't
Or
know.
even at a penny. It's
Yeah.
it's the risk factor has literally melted over time in arguably 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years. I've not come across anything that goes from super risky to mid risky to we're kind of not quite out of the risk yet, but everything that lady talked about in the video y'all shared, that's just one example of where it's not going to be risky anymore. It'll be risky to not participate. It'll be risky not to know.
Are the indicators. Those are the
Yes.
indicators
Absolutely.
that we are correct, right?
Mhm.
For everything, every little extra piece of information, the laying the groundwork, the framework for the taxonomy worldwide, globally,
Mhm.
that is telling us we are correct
Mhm.
And
in
not
giving
only
us our
that,
attention.
and not only that, there's three things that we actually need for there to actually, and I know somebody earlier had asked about price. What price do you see? And I'm gonna tell you exactly what I said last night in T's space. It is irresponsible of me to give you a value, a number for something that just exchanges value. Okay. Because the minute that I put a number on that, that limits the amount that it can be.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that. What I will say to you is there's three things that we need to see that type of price accumulation. One of them, we've already gotten that it is now not a security, right? It's no longer a security. We know that. The next thing that we need is interoperability between DEXs and between ecosystems in this particular space, right? That's another one.
And we're close.
Huge one. And
We're close on that. You can
Yes,
go
we
to
are.
you can go to Bitrue. You can go to bitrue.com, the exchange, and you can do trading pairs with XRP. Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And the other couple of things are we need regulations, which we are seeing in spades right now. We're going to talk about some of them tonight.
Yeah.
But we need that regulation, right? We need to know what the definitions are. One of the things we're going to talk about is that definition bill, right? And it's very, very important, right? We also have another bill that says that the actual and it did get vetoed, but we'll talk about that in a second. And this bill was to overturn the fact that the SEC had said that institutions have to hold custodied assets on their balance sheet. We want to rescind that. However, there has to be some win-wins on both sides, which is not happening right now with the current bill and then what's being asked to be put out there to rescind it. You know what I mean? You have to have wins on both sides if you're going to negotiate. That's the nature of a negotiation, right? And the last thing that it's going to have is going to have an absolute resolution of the case. The Ripple case has to be completely resolved. Once you have those three things, yeah, you're going to see some real explosive things happen. You know what I mean? But I do believe that we are going to have to make sure we're going to have some really upset folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really upset. Because I know I'm not the only one that's been out here trying to explain this to people.
Yeah, because when it finally comes around, when they finally see it, it's not going to be too late. They'll still be able to invest. Their opportunity to invest at the prices that they are now is
Mhm.
getting shorter and shorter, smaller and smaller. Hey,
Right. Their
Cheesy, thank you for
ROI is just
coming,
going to be
my
different.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
The
right. We are
ROI
gonna
is gonna
have
be
we are gonna have some upset people, the ones that are gonna say, I should have listened to you, type of
or they're
thing.
just going to pop up when they haven't popped up in a year and a half, 2
Yeah,
years, and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
yeah.
And that's where you fade to black.
That's where they go back and look at the dip a toe videos. And hey, by the way, for those of you that don't know, Miss Keda is starting back the we're gonna do the Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be keeping it 100 with Keda and the crew. And I'm starting up tomorrow. I'm super duper excited, and I'm hoping that people will come out and chat with us tomorrow night. Now, I probably won't be on video. I'm not really on StreamYard unless I'm here with Melissa. Um, and- but what I will say is I'm super duper excited about having the show back. I miss everyone and miss the ability to be able to have good conversations in the space. I've been
Right?
able to do that with
Relatable.
Dipato.
So
Yes,
relatable right now.
I've been able to do that with Dipato. Everything here is positive. It's not about bashing each other and beating each other upside the head about what's happening in this world or trying to just be right. I love healthy discourse, and I think it's really important to be able to do that, and hear all sides of an argument, you know what I mean, or all sides of a discussion. So that way we can really come to some really good like conclusions. And I think that that's important. So
We're dipping our toe together, rising that water 1 foot at a time.
I got
hey,
my
hey,
hey,
listen,
my
I get in the
floaties
pool,
are
I'm raising.
always in the trunk. My floaties are
All I'm gonna
always in the
tell you
trunk.
is I get in that water, I'm raising the water. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
Mhm.
you.
I'm
Ain't
the
got nothing
floaties
to
are
do with them
nearby,
too.
people. On demand. The floaties are always there. You just don't
There's
see them.
Absolutely.
there's
But my floaties are
89
there
of
all the
us.
time.
There's 89 of us right now.
Hey,
Uh
hey.
thank you
So
guys. Please
do you want
like,
this to
share,
be
and
known?
subscribe. Say it again.
Do you,
What is this that you're looking at right
well,
now, sir?
this is the dang you should have been in right here. All this
Mm,
mess right here. This is
mm.
XRP USD. It's history. Okay. So here it was, pennies on the dollar,
When was
less than a
this? What
penny,
what time
right?
frame? What time frame? What year? What year?
We're going let's do okay.
Gotta go back in time.
Monday, August 12th, 2013.
See,
Ooh.
I ain't know nothing
All the
about
way
that.
to
Mm.
Monday, March 13th, 2017.
Mm.
Before
Can I
we
just tell you, I didn't know anything about XRP at that time. I wasn't even into
no,
this
that's
space
good.
at all, at all.
It's good, but do you wish you were? Will you wish you were in the know if you
To
knew
be
what you knew
honest,
now?
no, I don't.
Right.
Because my mind frame at that time wouldn't have been right, and I'd either be dead or I wouldn't have a dime.
Okay.
Let's be
That's
honest. I'm gonna be
that's
real.
fair. But
Yeah.
here we are again doing a little, it looks a little the same. Now, I'm not going to price speculate. I'm bringing this chart up for a point, and that's the point of the people that will be upset.
Mhm.
People back here, they heard, they heard, oh man, there goes the spaghetti sauce. Sorry about that. In this area, people were hearing about XRP. Trust me, they were hearing about it. It was on Coinbase. It was right there. One of 3 coins that you could have bought, or 4 coins you could have bought. They were thinking about it. They hesitated maybe or whatever. When it got up to here, they said, I wish. Here we are again.
Yep.
It doesn't take nothing to get into this. It's very, very simple to participate at the acquisition level, meaning you can buy crypto. You can do it on Venmo. Watch out for the video coming later. But you can do it on Venmo. It's very simple. Once you got it, you're participating. That's literally step 1, in my opinion. If you're not someone that learns by reading, then I suggest learn by doing. Get Venmo, go through a small know your customer process, and just get some. Learn that part
And it's
because you
not
don't.
just on Venmo. It's also
No,
on what is it, Cash App?
the Cash App has Bitcoin. Yes, yep. Cash App has Bitcoin. I'm bouncing around. There's a few others. But those 2 will still allow you to send your coins off of those apps, which I wholeheartedly think is a good thing. I only bring that chart up just to say, hey, look, people that were down here in this sideways action that were like, I don't know, and then it went through the roof, so to speak. They had
Mhm.
regret. They were mad. They were upset. People that were, I don't know about crypto, it's a scam, it's this, that, whatever. And hey, back then, a lot of risk right there. No argument.
Mhm.
Today,
Yep.
now at 52 cents, far less risk, far more participation globally. You know, coming out of court, doing good things. That's just one example of the many that are out there in this digital asset space.
Yeah.
I
No,
love that.
that's great points that you're making, Simon. Because I mean, it's the woulda, shoulda, coulda thing. We did a show
Yeah,
on
we
that.
we
Check
did a
that
show on the
out.
shoulda, coulda, was. Astrologers are even talking about crypto and not straight out XRP, but talk about it with saying XRP like world. Yeah, exactly. See, read between the lines. World
It's
bridge
like say it,
currency,
yeah.
right?
It's
Yeah.
like say it without saying it.
Mm-hmm. It's all over. It's all over there, man. And once you know how to read between the lines, and it don't take much, watch a few of those boring conventions, man, and you'll pick up on it. Like, hey, wait a minute. All the little politician-y people and legislators, they all started smiling right there, all evil and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's rewind that. What'd they
Hey.
say right there? You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Not all-
it is kind of funny. You know, I've always watched these things and I would say they're given signs. They're
Mhm.
talking to each other in code. I just
Yep.
don't know what it means, right?
Yep.
I don't know
Right.
what it means. I don't know what it
Mhm.
means. Well, I do know what it means. And for some of this stuff, I mean, I don't know everything. I can speculate. I have a little bit of more sauce to my speculation, so to
Right.
speak. And so when I see them talking about these things, like the video we played at the top of the show, he was for sure talking about XRP and in that type of development, and
Mhm.
knows darn well it's already created and it's already there. And so I think that is what kind of makes it a little bit more fun. And
Mhm.
so I just I think I'm having a good time with this space, really. There are a lot of people that are stressed out when it comes to the digital asset crypto space, particularly the ones that are buying the crap coins and, you know, trying to make $1 overnight, and they're getting
Mhm.
sucked in by this stuff. We're talking fundamentals, people. We're talking foundational level, the infrastructure, the bridges, and all of the things that you could possibly think of if you were going to change your financial system over and the whole world was going to play together without one ruler, one ruling currency. How would you do it? What types of things would need to be addressed? And then even when you start thinking about the technology as far as our jobs and things, you know, like I said, I'm in accounting,
Mhm.
you're in medical, and you were talking about the medical records. All of those things are being worked on as we speak. And when it's go time, it is going to be go time. And then we'll have the period of implementation for the end users, the businesses that are going to be sold on said technology, and then they're going to have to transition from the old way to the new. So we have several years down the road. It's not like tomorrow everybody's job is going to go away, but it would behoove you to learn about this and get ahead of it, so that when it comes knocking at your door at work, you already know what's
Right.
up, and you can actually speak to what's going to happen and maybe be an asset that they can't let go of, you know?
Yeah.
Stir
Definitely.
Crazy says public-private partnerships, this will be the way. Thanks for coming to the show, Stir Crazy. Welcome to Dip a
Hey,
Toe.
hey. What is
Thank you.
happening? What is going down? I
What's
hope
happening? We
everybody.
got 96 people
Hey. Let's get it.
watching the
Let's get it.
stream.
Now you want to hit up these bills? What you want to have?
What do you want to hit up? You want to talk about the so I've got a bunch of bills pulled up right now. And I need to get rid of this and close it out.
Let's talk about this one that's vetoed, because I really want to talk about that. And that's the one that has to do with the SEC ruling that institutions have to hold custodied assets on their balance sheets.
Yep, you're talking about the staff bulletin number 121.
Correct.
And that's what they were trying to get rid of.
Right. And here's the thing. It does need to go away. That is true. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about assets that very well are volatile, right? At the moment, they're volatile because we're still in the speculative market. Once it gets to utility, that's going to be a whole different ball game, right? But at the same time, holding assets as custody is going to be the way of the world, right? And we already know that. So for them to say that they have to hold that on their balance sheet would put that company in jeopardy, to be honest with you, right? So I do totally understand where Congress is coming from. And I think there's a couple of different, thought processes that are associated with it, right? One is, yeah, it's good for the consumer. But at the end of the day, if you think that this is all about you, you're sadly mistaken.
Right.
This is a situation, this is about their money, okay? Their money is at risk because I can almost guarantee you 80 to 95% of that Congress is associated with digital assets. And I'm using that term again very, very precisely, okay? They are in this. They can say they're not, but they're lying, okay? And they wouldn't be, because you have to realize that bill passed as a bipartisan bill.
Right.
Almost everything that's come out when it comes to digital assets has been bipartisan. They have put that thing through so fast. I've never seen bills go through that fast, and especially bipartisan.
Yep.
Never. That means that they're pushing it through. Okay. But the thing is that they should have really taken time with those amendments on that bill. The reason why is because when you negotiate, each side has to have a win or they're going to not participate. And in this instance, there isn't enough win on both sides for this to go through appropriately with a bipartisan approval. It will come, but Joe Biden is not doing anything but playing his part and doing his job by playing the role that he was meant to play in this moment. Okay. And sending it back to Congress. When he sends it back to Congress, they will then be able to come up with those concessions on both sides, which will get this. This is going to pass. Don't get it twisted. It's going to pass. The issue is what is going to be given on both sides in order to be able to get it through the Congress and get it through the president's desk.
I mean, they both agreed and they did pass it through both the House and the Senate. Biden passed it. I have a little bit different perspective in that. So I was looking up, because everyone expected that he was going to sign it. Some people, or they were
he
hopeful.
Said he was going to veto it. He said he was going to veto it.
I know, but people still thought that he was going to, that he was going to sign it and that the SAB 121 was going to be repealed. And I thought he was going to veto it myself. And I started looking up back then. What happens if he decides to veto it? What happens then? And basically, when I looked it up, it said, that it'd be returned to Congress with its reasons why. And then Congress has the opportunity to make this law with a 2/3 majority vote in both the House and the Senate. And so while it's easier if Joe Biden was to just sign it, this is an opportunity to show the public the power of Congress and make them do their work. So they're the ones that are supposed to be doing their jobs, representing their constituents in the different states and whatnot. And they both, they did pass this pretty good on both the House and the Senate. And
And
so,
quickly.
and quickly, because we know. And so I found this, like what happens. There was where the heck is it? Of course, I'm not going to find it. I have, there's like certain procedures that happen with these presidential vetoes. And,
Mhm.
but basically, they could still be law without the president's signature, and they have to come to that consensus and vote, and there's a certain amount of time that they have to do it in. But I'm also thinking, over the past several years, we have been just bombarded with situation after situation where a president makes one decision, they implement all these things, and then the next president comes and undoes it, right? And they make all these statements, but it's never really addressed for real. It's never put into law. It's never gone through the proper channels it's supposed to go. And something that is so important as our new financial system, you want that to be done correctly and
Mhm.
bipartisanly, right? You do not want, and you want to show the power of the Congress and what they have. And so I think it's kind of good that Biden didn't sign it, because I want to
Mhm.
see what these guys are going to do. Like, are they going to
Yeah.
do their job for real? We're about ready to find out, because if they truly believe that this was the way to go, and I do think it was the way to go, then they're going to have to step up and do their job, and
I think it's
that's
going to
what we
be
want.
I think that's what's also going to be what's good for them.
Right.
Let's be
I
real
mean,
about it.
yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, the consumer is not the object. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're going to do what's appropriate for them and what's appropriate for the government. You know what I mean? I truthfully believe that, and I
I'm
could be wrong.
I am so optimistic. I have to think hopeful and optimistically that and I guess the more that I think this way, and the more people that think this way with me, the whole collective consciousness type thing.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, if I believe that the whole world is cooperating and we are creating a level playing field, I have to believe that the Congress, and being the way that they're acting and behaving, the way that Biden's behaving, the way that Trump's behaved, all these players are acting real squirrely. Everything's crazy and weird. And I feel
Mhm.
like they are definitely playing playing parts and putting on a show. I have to believe that they're being forced to do the right thing. No matter, and that they are going through these exercises the way that our Constitution was written, and the way that we're supposed to be doing, creating bills and laws and all of the things that we've been going through. They're painstakingly going through them. I mean, anytime you just pop in, like you say, C-SPAN, I mean, it's just so many things that different committees and things that they're talking about. I've never seen so many. So I could be completely, way off, but that's my hopeful. I hope that someone else is gonna, like deuce
I
me
don't
so that we can.
I don't mind your optimism at all. I think it is no, I think it's important. And
Yeah.
for a very and on a very real level, I'm optimistic. I am. I'm very, very optimistic. However, what I will say is that I'm a realist at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all I can say is they're going to show you better than they can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And what they have shown is that their interest is the most important thing. The government's interest is the most important thing. We as consumers and as you know residents and citizens of the United States, we then have to make sure that our best interests are met and
Right.
our best interests are put forward for ourselves. And we are going to have to figure out how to do that for ourselves. They're not going
Yeah.
to do it for us. They're not going to tell us how to do it. They're not going to try to assist us in that in any shape, fashion, or form. And I'm not saying that your optimism is wrong. I am by trade, by normal person, I am always optimistic. I always am like glass is half full. And then, yes, I do have the Black's Law Dictionary. Mine is green, yours is brown. So at the end of the day, understand, I do get you. I get you. This is my heart. That is my heart. What you said was in my heart, but my brain says something different because all I can go by is what I see and
What
what
you
I
see, what they
experience
do.
and what
Yeah,
they do.
I
And
know.
they're gonna show you better than they tell you.
I
Girl,
know.
they can
That's
say
why we have
anything
to
they
give
want
this
to.
attention. That's why
Yes,
I said at the beginning,
absolutely.
we have to give this attention. And when they ask for public commentary, or when we
Mm,
see these people, or they say, write your Congress people, or, whatever, we really do. We have to. I have my ex sister-in-law was an aide for one of the senators.
mm.
And do you know that they have to answer and they have to keep every email or letter or phone call that comes in? They
Mhm.
have to keep a log of it and they have to address
But
every
people,
single one of them.
but people aren't gonna send it because they don't think that they're gonna get it.
Right.
And the thing is people feel like, oh well, what good does it do for me to say it? And they're not gonna do anything about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a pessimistic way of looking at it. But at the end of the day, the more people that bring out that information and say that or whatever, that's gonna be where they have to do something because as you say, it's now on record. It's now on record.
Scotty J
So
says, when like someone says, I love you, or someone shows you they love you, when it's better to show me. Show
yeah,
me you love me. Show me
show
the
me.
money.
Absolutely. Don't tell
Show
me,
me.
show me.
Huh?
What's your
Exactly.
actions? Because your actions gonna tell me more than what you say out of your mouth. You can
Uh-huh.
tell me you love me all the time, but you slap me in the face the next minute, and that doesn't tell me you love me.
Mm-mm.
Now,
Mm-mm.
mind you, it may be a different situation or it may be a different circumstance, and you might be okay with it. I'm sorry. Did I just say that? I just said
It took me a half a second to understand what you just said. That was like, ooh, spicy.
it. It depends.
Huh?
Depends on
Keita
the
gets
person
spicy.
and circumstance. I'm sorry. I can't lie to you. I'm a grown ass woman. I've been around for a long time.
Man, I'm gonna have to leave that. I gotta leave that one alone. I don't put my filter on too many times, but that's good. Thank you for saying it for me, Miss Keda. I appreciate
You're welcome. You was thinking it. You was
it.
thinking
It's a Vegas type situation. Vegas out in public on the streets of Fremont, man. That shit just happening.
Oh, that was
Give me
crazy.
$50 and I'll slap you while I'm wearing
Fremont.
my bikini. Like,
Fremont
what?
is so
No.
amazing. Oh my gosh, Fremont Street. Oh my goodness.
But it's facts on the facts on they do show. If there's one
Yeah.
thing I've learned from other successful people, they will hire people that are very much smarter than them in different industries or different sections of the world, or a business or whatever that they might be doing. But eventually they learn from them, and then they find out just another way to go to mitigate the risk of whatever's coming at them by the people that make laws or rules or regulations for the benefit of them and nobody else, as it might appear to be through their actions. And that's why it's important what Keita's saying, what Melissa's saying, Mr. Mann is saying, Cypher's saying, and a whole other crowd that's saying this. You need to give this attention. Watch these boring things because the gems are going to come out and you're going to see it.
Yeah.
And then once you see it, whatever that little 30-second of a gem that took 2 hours to get to through some proceedings, I know But that once you know what it is, you will know what to do, or you will know to go find someone to help you figure out what you need to do to remain on top and not get
Mhm.
forced down low, like history has shown what happens
Mhm.
over time.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Mm.
it's facts, absolute facts on that.
Oh, that's a very interesting statement by
They'll do the
Scotty
right thing after
J.
enough risk and bad debts are transferred into the public. Yeah,
Right.
let's drag out for a bit. The aftermath will be phenomenal.
Phenomenal if you're
Yeah,
positioned
right there.
properly. Amen.
Right,
Mr. Crazy.
right. Position properly. You know the are you guys gonna touch on the was it the fit something fit? God
The
dang it.
fit,
Fit, fit,
yeah, yeah.
fit 21.
Okay. Because there's a part in there that I saw them kind of going through it, and they voted on it and all that. And man, there was a part in there. I'm like, see, that's it. There's the we're gonna keep you down move right there. But I'll wait till y'all bring that up because I'm hot
Scotty
on that.
says they will do what they have to when they are told by the string pullers when to do it.
That's
Boss is a
fair.
boss, a worker's a worker.
That is so
And
true. That is so true,
yeah,
Scotty.
yeah, it's
Trying
so
to find.
true.
Oh, this is the fit. Yeah.
Fit
So
21.
the fit 21, for those of you that aren't familiar, is the HR 4763 Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act. And basically, it establishes a regulatory framework for digital assets, and the Commodity Future Trading Commission, the CFTC, must regulate a digital asset as a commodity if the blockchain or digital ledger on which it runs is functional and decentralized. The bill classifies a blockchain as decentralized if, among other requirements, no person has unilateral authority to control the blockchain or its usage, and no issuer or affiliated person has control of 20% or more of the digital asset or the voting power of the digital asset. In addition, the bill provides the CFTC with exclusive regulatory authority over cash or spot markets for digital commodities. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, must regulate a digital asset as a security if its associated blockchain is functional but not decentralized. However, the bill establishes certain exceptions to SEC regulation for digital assets that limit annual sales, restrict non-accredited investor access, and satisfy disclosure and compliance requirements. This bill also sets forth requirements for primary and secondary market transactions. The CFTC and SEC must jointly issue rules to define terms and exempt duly registered exchanges from duplicative rules. In a nutshell.
In a nutshell. Yeah.
That's all you needed. They literally set out what they're gonna do right there, like literally right there.
Put it in your face. But but you also have to realize how many people read that bill. Like she just
look,
did.
I mean
How
that
many people?
it's tough. It's
They
really
don't.
tough. It's really like I mean, I would say my generation definitely not into reading. Like it's
They
not
don't
like
have the
nah.
attention
Now you give me
span.
book on tapes, ooh, I'm in it. I'm podcast all day. Like I've just noticed that with my age group ish, if you will, right? But reading, it's like a pain point thing.
And they know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
They
Oh yeah.
know
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
And
mean,
they made a point to make sure that our attention spans are like less than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
So you.
basically it's drawing the lines of authority for the CFTC and the SEC, whether crypto is a security or a commodity, how they're going to regulate each piece. And I think the
Right.
fighting kind of comes in where I think the SEC at this point gets more money than the CFTC does.
Oh, they absolutely
It-
do. Oh no, they
yeah,
absolutely do. They get so much more money than the CFTC.
As far
And
yeah.
as
they're still
government
asking
funding.
for more. Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely. They're
okay.
always asking, and they're always
Yeah,
asking
I thought
for
y'all were talking
more.
about some other side deal from this thing. I'm like, what? They
No,
getting a
no,
cut off the blockchain?
no, not
We're in
that type.
DeFi?
No,
Look
I
at
mean
that.
in the sense of I'm saying in the sense of governmental funding, they keep going back asking for more money. Like, how much was it before they asked for? Do you remember, Melissa? Because
Oh,
it was
I don't.
billions of dollars they were asking for that was
I,
asked to be put into a bill.
yeah, I don't remember, but it was a lot. It was a
It was.
lot. You
And
might,
this was around the no, this was around the time they said they were going to do 87,000
yes,
IRS people.
hire us
Yes,
agents.
around them, auditors. Yes.
Yep.
It's like two little, it's like two kids in a family, right? So
Yeah.
the IRS is getting 87,000 people. Oh, well, can I have more too? No, I need more. This is way more important. You ain't gonna catch nobody anyways. Look, we need more money over here. We're doing work.
They want more money to litigate against people. That's really what they want.
Mm.
They want to litigate against more companies so that they can put them out of business. You know what I mean?
As I've observed, it seems to me like the CFTC, they just seem to know what they're talking about, and they represent themselves just a little bit more professionally, in my opinion. As an outsider observing them, when I watch these hearings, they just seem to be a little bit more structured and on the ball, and
Right.
not as like the SEC with this whole rule by enforcement, like,
Enforcement.
hey guys, come come in and let us know what you're doing. We're not going to tell you anything that we don't going to lay down the groundwork for you. We're going to wait for you to come to us, tell us what you're doing, and then we're going to analyze it and then say, nope, you're in trouble now, we're going to sue you.
You know what I think? But you know what? I have a little bit of a different thought process, when it comes to that. I do believe what you say. I do definitely believe that because that's what we've seen. However, I don't believe that they're doing this just because they're just trying to be nasty. They've been told to do this. They've been told to come out here
Well,
and wreak havoc in this so that one, they can keep people out of it by fear. I feel like there's a lot of, oh, well,
there's
if you
that too.
thought that this is, yeah, if you feel like this is a good company, you know what? Let me just kind of give you reasons why you shouldn't be involved with them, because you know they're going to listen. A lot more people that aren't really like versed in doing their own research, looking into things, looking into companies, looking into what's really happening with that company, will believe that because it's the SEC.
Right. Well, so sorry, Simon, I can't see you because I got this big piece of paper in front of, in front of my face. Well,
He's
what I
laughing. He's laughing.
what I want to,
He's
I can't see.
laughing.
What I want to say is though that the SEC, if you think about the way that our financial system and the way our money is created and it's out of debt, and there's a lot of securities and all of these rules and regulations and stipulations and all these things, the SEC does have quite a bit of power. And as
Oh
you
yeah.
look back over history and what they've done, it's not just the crypto space that they've done this to, where they've taken down small business and innovation,
Yeah.
and sued them out of existence, basically.
What's a rites of passage? Can you
Correct.
play?
Yes, just like Gary said when he did his MIT teachings, he straight up told them the rules of the game. You got to, it is a pay to play thing. And I think you're right. They're playing a part. He is their figurehead right now.
Yeah.
He's their face. He's playing a part, but I think that he's playing the part, because he has to, like you said, and it's to make the public see what's happening, because they have been doing this, like, in the background for forever, for such a long time. And like you said earlier, we just trust that because it's the SEC said it, so that it has to be right, And most of us just go about our day and we don't think about these things. But when it comes to the financial future of our country and the world, there's a lot of us that are now, like yourself and Simon, and the 109 people listening to Dip a Toe right now that are giving this their attention, and and realizing there's a lot of shenanigans going on in this. That, you know,
All of
with
that
big
part.
words and numbers and calculations and rules and regulations, and you got to be accredited, yada yada yada. That left us out of the space to begin with.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look who has blessed the space. Mr. T has made it in. What's up,
What?
T?
It's
Yo,
good, Mr.
Mr.
T.
T's crypto spot is in the building. So we appreciate you coming in and hanging out
I,
with us.
for some reason, my chat stopped at Scotty
Mm-hmm.
over the
Mm-hmm.
digital assets. I don't know why.
Did I just do it? Did I just put him on stage? It won't let me put him up there, but I don't know why. But
It's not
Is
letting
he?
me.
just wanted to let you know that I saw you, man.
Well, yay! Thank you for coming. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
man. We appreciate
Oh,
you
there.
as always. There he is.
Maybe I just. Can you do it, or maybe Simon can do it?
What are we doing? Is he in the green room?
Putting T up in the chat. He must have put something in our chat.
Yeah, he
But
says he's tuned in. Yeah.
oh, we love you, T. And you know, you guys might not be surprised that Gary's response to Fit 21, that he's not a fan of it, guys. He's not a fan of the Fit 21 bill. And he slammed the proposed bill in a blog post, and he said that Fit 21 bill could put investors and capital markets at risk by creating a new regulatory gap. And he added that the bill's decentralization tests abandoned the I lost myself. It abandoned the Supreme Court's longstanding Howey test and allows crypto projects to self-certify as decentralized to escape the SEC oversight. And he also said that the U.S. SEC would be understaffed to handle digital commodity certification requests from more than the more than 16,000 crypto assets that are currently in existence. I thought there was more than 16,000. And then he said, he wrote this question: what if perpetrators of pump and dump schemes and penny stock pushers contend that they're outside of the securities laws by labeling themselves as crypto investment contracts or self-certifying that they are decentralized systems? The SEC would only have 60 days to contest their self-certification, wrote Chair Gensler. So
You got 60 days, bro.
I mean,
we're from the streets. You give us one notification, y'all got 45 days. Next notification, you all got 30 days. After that, y'all got 2 weeks. Come on, man, step up your game.
Well, I mean, whenever they ask for public comment, they don't usually give you that many days.
No,
you know, I think it's actually like 30 days or 2 weeks or something like that. It's not like they're giving you a shitload of time.
Sorry, that was a knee-jerk reaction, but come on.
No, I liked
Come
your
on, man.
knee-jerk
You
reaction.
got 60 days, bro. Get it together.
Yeah.
You don't take a session like the Congress. You there.
I do think though, don't you think though, it makes sense, particularly, I mean, so you've got the securities, and there are some of these crypto assets that they are securities, right? There are some that are absolutely securities, and there are some that are absolutely commodities that you know. And so the more things that are tokenized, depending on what it is, right?
Yeah.
You're going to need this legal framework. And there's both of these, I don't know what do you call them? What do you call them? The SEC and the CFTC, governmental agencies.
Government agencies.
Yes, the agencies. You're going to need both of these agencies to do their frickin' job, have the ultimate clarity. we need, just like we saw earlier where they talked about the taxonomy for those that use it, those that don't. We need to understand this. We're going to need to understand this, just like we're going to need to understand this. Who's going to be regulating what I'm holding or what I'm using? Is it the SEC or is it the CFTC? We need to know this. We need to have the legal clarity for that.
My vote is neither one. I think a whole different department needs to be created for this new space because these individuals apparently don't have the time to get that upgrade for the new things that are coming down the pipeline. Okay.
Right.
So they can stay in that other world where it's business and stocks and this and that. Okay. But when you go digital, sorry, you out. We got a whole different department. And it's not there's no oversight. It's just like them, you know, the same oversight that they get from, which is from Congress. This other department would too, like Space Force. Only it's.
I was gonna say, we created Space Force.
You got, it's like, you know, you got the Navy, right? They got the water, you know, Army got the land, right? Air Force, well, they got that, but then above and beyond, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, whose is that? Well, that's your jurisdiction, right? So I think the same thing kind of needs to happen here, you know, and not having it there, but all departments do need to have an arm within each department, so that way there is the interoperability between all departments, right? Because there's definitely some bleed over there, but. You know,
they need to work. They need to work together, right? They need to work. And this is something that I've noticed with governmental agencies or like universities, for example. You've got the different colleges and whatnot. For whatever reason, different colleges within the same university, they don't get along. They don't want to get along with each other.
Must be a football thing.
Well, no, I don't know. It's not. It's a money thing. And the way that things are charged to each department and all of this kind of stuff, I think it really is a money thing. And I mean, this is coming down to, you know, the SEC saying that they need more money. CFTC needs more money. But they really need to work cooperatively together. They have their own separate things that they do. But like you say, you know, they need to interoperate with each other because there is going to be some bleed over and some questionable things.
Sure.
And you need that team to work together and come together and determine what they're dealing with and how they're going to handle it.
Right. And these guys aren't set up, you know, they're not set up to go this way. Like their whole infrastructure is based on the past 100 years of business operations, right? I'm sorry, we're starting a new 100 years now. We need a whole new department, whole new agency for that.
Yeah.
Just take funds, go over there, build. You know, take your big heads. By the way, they might be able to have some experience from the old experiences, but dude, you got a proof in the pudding. You got to be on point out there. What's dude's name? Get Jason Lowry. Is it Jason Lowry? Right? Get him out there. He can recruit some heads out here. Look at all the talking heads within the space. You know, anybody that's on any of these panels that are in some type of governmental position who's telling like it is. There you go. That's your team. Put them in the new digital asset agency. That's just what it is. I think there needs to be a clear separation, man.
Do you think that there's going to be a real, like, just digital asset agency? I think that's valid.
Yeah.
Do I think there will be? Man, you mean like a whole separate entity? Nah.
I think it will. I think it'll
eventually.
I think it'll morph into that, but I don't think they'll just go like what I'm saying. Boom, there it is. You guys got 100 people. You're gonna grow, and every 3 years we'll give you another 100 people, or we'll double it up. If 100 ain't gonna be good, then we'll give you 200. I
think it's gonna take a new age bracket and a whole new set of people that have nothing to do with the government. I think it's
you got AI, you got your AI, you got your individuals that are in AI right now. Individuals that are running AI. I mean, with AI and algorithms right now, you can literally see, and the blockchain, man, there ain't, I mean, come on, man. It's blockchain. It's pretty transparent comparative to all the other BS that's out there. Just go through the code. It's right
I was
there.
going to
Open
say
source.
it would be smart
know.
of them to be watching this space, because there is a lot of people, just regular people, that have spent thousands of hours researching this space, more so than a lot of people do for their own jobs.
I think it.
And
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could fill those positions and blow
Absolutely.
the ranking people that are already there that don't. They're like trying to catch up and figure out what's going on. We got years on them.
Did
Bus
you go
around,
to an
bus
XRP
around.
convention in
By
Vegas?
choice,
I
for
was about to
fun,
say,
we've learned, you
Bus
know.
around, and you probably already have a whole bunch that are already
You already got it. You
already
got it, man.
paid already. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because
I
I'm
feel
not
you.
gonna lie, as I'm
Yep.
sitting here and watching how the spaces roll out.
Yep.
Excuse me
Yep.
for being a conspiracy thought process. But
Mm-mm.
some people have a whole lot of damn time to be in spaces.
I got my foil on with
Just
you.
saying. I'm just saying.
That's
You
facts.
understand? First of all, not
A
only
real
is
talk.
it that you're in spaces during the day, you're in spaces all night. Got spaces, spaces upon spaces. I've never seen anything like it. When do you sleep?
Mm.
She
When
don't.
do you eat?
She don't. Dude, I'll get a text.
And
I'll
no,
get a
but I'm
text
not
at
even
like
talking. No,
9
Oh,
p.m.
now she's not talking about me. She's not talking about
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, she's always on spaces.
I
Yeah, there's
was
always
gonna
a post.
say I'm
no,
for hire. You
no,
pay
but
me a
you gotta
decent
understand.
wage, and I'll be doing that.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you remember when
Oh yeah.
when David Schwartz was in Dark Horses space?
Oh
You remember that?
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I happened to wake up. Don't judge me. I woke up to go to the bathroom. Okay.
We all
When
do.
I came back, we all do. And as people who are into this space, we go on our phone and we check things, because in the middle of the night we might
It's
see.
This comes
boring.
with
It's
me. Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
It's
Listen,
It's like,
boring. Gotta read
okay?
something.
what's
You
up with the
gotta
market? Who did a post? I
exactly
saw
see
something as I was
Simon. Come
passing
on,
out. Where is that? Yeah.
There used
See,
to be
you understand.
Playboy sitting next to the toilet. Now you just take your phone in there.
Right, exactly. And then what'll
Just
happen is
saying.
you take a look over at the X app, and you see that space is going on at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you try to figure out what are y'all talking about? What is David Schwartz doing up at 3 o'clock in the morning, just in a chat with 100 people, just saying, "Hey, let me just answer questions. Oh, I didn't sleep tonight. Oh, listen, those people in there that have spaces at 3 o'clock in the morning that live in the United States. I'm not talking about other places. I'm talking about right here in the United States. You have
Yep.
3 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing up at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Man,
Don't you have to go to work?
construction workers, we up. We up. We need
Listen,
something.
I don't. But the thing about it is they're there also during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They
all
are.
day, every day. So my thing is
And you know they're not a
people
bot.
see, because you're talking to them.
Right.
It's not even AI. I mean, when I'm speaking to something that sounds like AI, I absolutely know it. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely know I'm speaking to a computer. I absolutely know that this has nothing to do with a real live human person. All I'm saying is don't y'all have jobs?
Right.
I know your job is pissed off at you being at the job and on the daggone chat every 5 seconds, because I know mine would be pissed off at me.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can't. Yeah. You're like, what kind
I
of
can't
job
care
do
for
you
my
have?
patients. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What kind of job you got?
I mean, look, I'm at work. Like I said earlier, I am a multitasking type of gal. I used to listen to music in my ear. I had to listen to music or I couldn't think. Like I needed that extra music in my ears so I could, concentrate on other things. That's just how I am. And then I started listening to the podcasts and the YouTubes and Rumbles and all those things. And really, I'll be listening to something or the C-SPAN videos, and I would like stop them, like, what do they say, and try to rewind them and listen to them. But like when it comes to spaces, during the day, I usually don't go in because somebody will either want me to come up and I can't because I can't talk. Like that's
Right.
one thing about my job. Like I can listen, but I can't talk
Right.
because they will hear me and I just can't do
And
that.
they'll
You know what I
try
mean?
to be, and then they'll try to be in the conversation with you.
Right. Well, and not only that, then you actually are using another piece of your brain. You're not just
Right.
listening. Now you're having to think about what you're going to respond, and it's
Right.
different. And so, like, I just can't. But you're right. How are these people able to do this? Now maybe they're self-employed. I don't know. Good for them if they can. But I would be willing to bet that some folks are. This is their job. And no matter what, I mean, the different types of projects and whatever, they're going to push different narratives out there. The opposition.
We've seen a few of them, and you know them by name.
Oh,
Don't front like you don't, because you do.
huh? I'm on Front Street. Huh?
I'm not
Walking
talking
back.
about you. If I
No,
talked about you, I said,
no.
Melissa, you did blah 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 blah
No,
blah.
no,
No,
no.
I ain't talking about you.
No, you said I know, or
I know
yeah,
you
you're.
know.
I know
you know.
I know.
Mm-hmm. You've
I
seen
have
it.
fun. Yeah,
You've
exactly.
been in there. I know
Oh.
you have. And they've been in my spaces.
Yeah,
They've been there. And
yeah.
you sit there like, what are you doing? Don't you have a real job?
Hey, you know what you should do? Y'all should just document. Get one of those big calendars, right? And every time you on the spaces, you see them, you just put a little check mark on your calendar, right? AM or PM. Just do that. Blog it out, and then come at them and be like, first question, what do you do?
Right.
Second question, how do you do it?
Yeah. I want your job.
That's a very, very valid point. Because not for nothing, we have people that come into the spaces, they dog out XRP right, left, and center. And they want to do it all day, every day.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
day,
There's
every
there's
day.
all that.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's
Yeah.
all of that. There's all of that.
Nah,
I
keep your
ain't
money.
saying-
I get paid to do
I'm
cool
not
things,
upset.
not stuff like that.
Scotty
I
J
know.
says David Schwartz is like the Chick Norris of computers AI. Ask David Schwartz for help. I love David Schwartz. I got
Yes,
my
he's
picture
awesome.
taken with. He's so smart and one of my. Well, I'm going to call him my friend, but he's probably not really my friend. But this Bank XRP guy or
Mhm.
gal, whoever they are, I've chatted with them a little bit on X, and they were going to come to our party, but they weren't able to come, and they were bummed out. They even messaged me and said they were sorry they couldn't come. But in any event, that person puts out fantastic material, a lot of
Mhm.
videos of things that you wouldn't normally see, and I've been following them for quite some time. And they
Yeah,
put up a
bank.
recent interview with
Mhm.
David Schwartz, and it was just great. He explains things in a way that I can understand, which most, him and T's Crypto. If any of you guys are not familiar with T's Crypto Spot, check him out. He's on X and he's on YouTube sometimes. But these are two technical people that when
Mhm.
they explain things, I can actually understand what they're saying. And now T in particular, if you ever go into one of his spaces, he like encourages people to talk and ask questions and stuff. He never makes you feel stupid, and
Yes.
although I have to say I've never really like raised my hand to speak in any of his spaces because there are so many people that do go up and talk, and there's at this point there's like the regulars and stuff, and so I'm more of just a listener type folk, and and I've always wanted to have him on, but I don't know, for some reason I'm like a little I don't know why, I don't know what it is about him, but in any event, all I'm saying is if you guys want to hear some like technical perspective, which I think if you're making an educated decision on a digital asset that happens to be technology based, it is good to listen to some of the technical perspectives because they have value. They can tell you kind of like where we're going, where we are, where do they see us going at this point? What stage of the game, sort of thing. Couple that with all of the other perspectives to give yourself a well-rounded opinion or speculation on something that you may be interested in. Dipping your toe in.
Hey, we love
Huh?
to dip a toe.
Huh? Becky says T is brilliant.
He is.
He is. He is
Absolutely.
brilliant. And Quincy Jones.
Oh, Quincy
Um,
Jones.
Love
Oh my
Quincy Jones. Quincy
gosh.
Jones, my
Love
dude.
Quincy Jones.
We
got
had some
I love
connections in
him.
Vegas, man. Oh man,
Uh,
Quincy, dude, he's fire. That was great to chat with him for like pretty much all weekend, man. That was so
He's
cool.
got such a pure heart and
He
soul.
does, man.
Yes,
He
he's
does.
so
Oh, and
gracious.
that's what's got me. That's what got me.
Yeah,
You know, was
he's
just the
he's totally so gracious, and
he is.
I
Dude, he's
totally
fire, man.
enjoy being able to
Yeah,
chop it
yeah,
up with him a
yeah.
little bit.
I'll have his back all day, every day, man.
Yeah.
Real deal, man.
And he's brilliant. Like,
Yeah.
think about it. This dude's been coding and developing since he was 12.
Yeah. Well, I really thought he
Wow.
was. I really thought when I started.
You already
watching
thought
him
he
a
was
while-
12 just by his face, didn't
No,
you?
I
Don't
thought
lie.
he was. Honestly, I thought he was like 18 or something. 'Cause I was watching him when he first started, and he was doing his like whiteboard things, and you
Mhm.
know, and he was just he seemed like a kid, like a young kid, and
Mhm.
I had no idea that he's not a little kid. He's
I
not
know.
he's approaching 30. And I had no clue that he was. And then I felt happy that he was older because he's got more experience to not get taken advantage of. Because when I met him, I said, you need to keep your people around you.
Yes.
Keep
Yeah.
stay grounded, because there's vultures out there, and they're gonna
Yeah.
come for you if they haven't already.
Well,
Keep
what's
your people.
interesting? Becky said, I love Quincy, although I feel like I should be drinking Red Bull and listening to him.
I
It's
know.
true though. Quincy, listen, Quincy, when he gets on a tangent. That man talks so fast, Lord Jesus.
Man,
I'm just like,
man,
ooh,
You gotta slow it
it
down.
makes my brain hurt.
T2,
Yeah, T
both
is
of
like
them.
that. T is like
That's
that.
because it's
Yeah,
the brilliance, because there's so much up
it is.
here that
It
they're like
is.
trying to explain it all, and it's just playing out, and they're just like,
You know,
blah, 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 blah.
you know
it's
what
the
I call
vision.
that?
It's the vision.
You know what I call that? They're literally savants.
Yes.
I didn't say idiot savant. They're savants. They really
Yes.
have
Yep.
that much information in their head and really understand it enough to be able to give it to you like
So,
this.
Patrick
would you-
L. Riley, same
what would
thing.
you call a person that could pretty much keep up with what they're saying, even though they don't know all the vocabulary that they're using to articulate the vision that they're
A
explaining?
person that's a critical thinker.
Oh, cool. I was curious
That's exactly no, but
because, like, I listen to him,
that's exactly
and
what
it's
I
like,
am.
man, I don't know exactly what you're saying, okay,
But I know it's
but
hot.
I can see it. I can see every little tiny thing
But
that you
you
just
can
said right there,
visualize it.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't re-explain it. I know that's the hard. That's
Yep.
the
You
part
know
that
what they call that? You
what's
know what
that?
they call that? That's
Mm.
called meta. That's called meta learning.
Meta-
Learning.
Meta
Oh.
learning.
Look it up.
Oh,
Meta learning. Yes.
okay,
So
cool. I
I'm
like
gonna write that
I was
down.
curious
I'm gonna
Look
jot that down.
Look that up. Seriously.
Meta learning.
I'm explain what that means. So meta learning is when you learn something, you bring it in, you get it into yourself, but
Mhm.
you're able to verbalize that back to somebody
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm
to
trying
where
to
they
do.
understand it. That's called meta learning. And it's what it is it gives you not just the information, but it allows you to be able to utilize it in a real world situation and be able
Yes,
to
yes,
explain that.
yes. I
That's
did not
meta
know that's a
learning.
thing, man. That's dope. I'm so glad I
The
came
real
on
thing.
tonight because
Patrick L. Riley in the house.
Right,
I hope he heard his
well,
shout
yeah,
out.
what's good,
Hey, what
Patrick?
up?
Patrick, same
I
thing.
put him in the savant. I know that's what I said. A savant.
Yeah.
Patrick
Yeah.
too. Same.
And
That's cool.
that means that whenever you're listening to Quincy, you have to realize that he has meta learning. He is able to explain it to you in a way that you can receive it. It may be fast.
Yep.
You may have to slow him down a little something to hear it, but he's going to give it to you in a way that you're able to understand.
Yeah,
Like,
he
see,
does
a lot
that.
of
I've
people-
noticed that because
Yeah,
he'll take time because
yeah.
I do the same thing, just main street level. It's like, okay, how am I going to explain this to you to where you get it? And
Yeah.
I'll take everything from your world and go boop, 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 boop.
Mhm.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
here's the other
and
part people don't understand about him. Not only is he a developer, but you also have to realize that man has a degree in finance. I don't
mhm.
know if y'all realize
Oh,
that.
I did not. I
Yes.
did
He
not know
has a
that.
degree in finance. So when
Wow.
he's talking about these situations,
He
talking about the,
knows.
because remember, he was talking about DApps from the very beginning. First thing he said about XCC is watch the DApps. Watch
Mhm.
the DApps. That's where you're going to find
Yep.
your value is in the DApps on it, the
Yes,
XCC network.
yes, yes,
So if
yes.
you're not doing that and you're not taking that from a head developer for the XCC network, something is wrong with you, not
Right.
him.
Right.
Okay? Because
Yeah.
he's the man that's developing that thing and he already knows. Listen, when the man tells you he pays his staff at XTC, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
What does
Go
that
get
tell you?
some.
That part.
Well,
Well,
just
that is staff accepts the
That,
XDC as payment.
that part.
That part.
Just
Because
yeah,
I mean, you
and
could offer it all you want, but if the end the
yes,
person doesn't want it, because my ex brother-in-law used to work for a paper company, and
mhm.
they wanted to pay him in stock. Well, might not have realized that the paper industry was gonna go out of business, right? So it didn't work out as well as what he thought.
Well, but
Um,
think about it like this. Think about it like this. So this is the flip side of that, paying people in XDC or paying people in XRP, because I know over in Europe, a lot of companies were paying people in XRP. But
yep.
I thought about that. I'm like, isn't that
Mm.
counterintuitive? Because if you pay people in XRP, XRP goes through the roof. Where's your employees? You think they're gonna stay at that
Yeah.
point?
Right.
I'm
well,
just saying.
Very. I think it
well,
was
no,
kind
that I
of
think that's a good move on the other side. Okay, on the other side of that, let's be kind of a
Yeah.
staunch nosed business owner just for this little theory we got going on right now. If I was in that situation and I'm really like, man, they're doing good work,
Mhm.
and I'm filling these pockets up with XRP and it goes to the moon. They left at their own accord. I didn't have to cut the budget. I just hired the new cheap talent off the street. Oh, cool. Well, let me show you something. And then I bring in the fresh blood, and the other one's just doing their
Yeah, but
thing.
by the time that those people that come in after the fact, now they're not getting XRP, they're getting
XTC.
I have a
no,
question
they're
for you
getting
guys.
drops. They're
Oh,
getting
drops.
drops.
Sure. Absolutely.
I have a question. So, and I don't exactly know if I'm going to be able to frame this question in a way that
I'll
that
take
I
drops.
want.
I'll take drops all day.
Do you think, because I over the history, like you've got Bitcoin and you've got XRP. So when I first started following XRP, there were a lot of folks and some of the influencers. They too were getting paid in XRP. They had their card. They were paying for things with XRP. Right. And same thing with like Bitcoin people. They were trying to get people to use it as a currency, and but
That's where
so
Bitcoin Cash came from.
correct. And so I'm wondering, because it really does matter how something is classed, or what, because we were in a speculative period.
Mhm.
Were they trying to nail it down in one way or another? Were they eliminating things? Were they testing things?
Absolutely.
Because you can't
It was the
now.
beta. That was a
Right.
beta
Beta.
test.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolute beta. Yeah.
So they realized, no, this is not going to be we're not going to be paying you. Although I don't know.
I don't think so. I
I
think
just
what happened was they realized that people were already starting to make money off of XRP, because realize Uphold had a card that would give you back, that would pay you back cash back in XRP.
yeah.
Okay, so this has already been out there. But the thing is that you think about it from a case standpoint, right?
Yep.
With XRP being in litigation, right?
Yep.
They cannot make it seem as news changes the price of XRP. And because realize, Ripple was putting out all kinds of articles, all kinds of partnerships, all these different things that should have raised the price just on speculation, but
Right.
realized that was stopped
Yep.
in midstream. The minute that the government said, you mean to tell me these DeFi people are getting money off of this and we can't do jack about it and I'm not getting my cut? Oh, no. They wasn't having that. They weren't having that. And that's when they started giving Wells notices to people.
Yep.
BlockFi. Realize, when was the last time you heard of BlockFi?
Yeah. Not in a while.
Okay, let's talk
Not in a
about
while.
that. When's the
Yeah.
last time you heard of it? Why is that? Because regulations came out that said you cannot stake because it's not regulated yet. That's the reason why they want their piece of the pie. They didn't have it at that point. You were the only people that were benefiting from it. The government wasn't benefiting from it. The politicians weren't benefiting from it, and the powers that be weren't benefiting from it. So you better believe they were going to shut that down until they can.
Wow.
Just a thought.
Mm.
Just a thought. So they have been beta testing to see whether or not it would be adopted. And the fact that they had so many people out there that had that Uphold card that were out there getting, like, utilizing it. I know people that even said they were paying their mortgages with that daggone
Yeah.
Uphold
Yeah.
card.
Same thing
And
with
being
the
able
No,
to
same
do
thing with the
that.
Coinbase card.
I mean,
Coinbase
what's
had a
his
card
name?
too.
What's his
And it
name?
makes sense.
James Rule XRP.
Yeah.
He is like a big advocate, and I was like trying to get the card, and they didn't have it in my area, and then they were like, "Oh, you can still get the online." Well, I could just never get it. You know, one other question, and actually, thank you, 120 people that are watching our Dip and Toe show. If you guys would please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, we would greatly appreciate it. It's like a super easy way to support us and grow our channel. But we are coming to the end of the show. As it is 10:02, and I was going to try to keep this at 2 hours, but I have like one more little baby question. One little baby question. So,
And we're adding the extra hour to the show. Bam!
That's loaded right there. That's loaded.
No.
Go ahead.
So when you think about XRP and what it does and exchanges value for value and it's quick and blah, blah, blah. If any of you guys have used the Uphold app, you went on Uphold. Uphold does that. What do you think they're using in the background? I mean, has anyone
does what? Uphold does what?
You can exchange value for value. You can exchange any currency for any currency. You can exchange gold. You can get. What are they using to do it in the background so quickly?
What do you mean by what are they using?
I'm saying.
Let me paint the picture a little bit better. Melissa, are you saying that Uphold allows you to take $1 and exchange it for a dinar?
Yeah, or a piece of gold or something like this, right?
Well, yeah, they're
and then that's kind of
as tokenization. That's what they're doing.
Go ahead, Melissa. You got it.
So I'm just saying, what are they using in the background? Is my question. That's my question. What are they using in the background? In Uphold are they perhaps testing? I don't know. No, nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever asks the question. Maybe they have, and I just haven't heard. It's very possible. I just wonder, because what they have seems to work extremely well. If you want to trade this for that, you want to buy this for that on their app, it's very quick. They got their vaults, they got all their stuff, they got their, they're transparent, blah, 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 all these things. It's working very well. And yes, it does cost a little bit of money, just like it does when you're on any other exchange or whatever. But what are
how do they do it?
What are they using in the background is my question. I don't know the answer to that. It could be very simple, but I don't know.
I think that here's the thing about Uphold that's different than other exchanges. They're not an exchange, they're a brokerage. And that's a difference, right? So to be honest with you, you could go on to Uphold and you could trade securities because they have a whole different level of Uphold that we aren't necessarily always privy to. And people don't realize they have like a pro version of XRP. I mean, not XRP, but of Uphold. So the reason that it's so quick is because when it comes to your assets, yes, it's part of a bigger pool, but when they put your assets away, they put them into cold storage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a difference. So yes, they are trading because they already have pockets of people that are looking to sell. And when they look to sell, they just match that person with somebody that's looking to buy. To be honest with you.
I mean, I'm just saying, like they are big players in this space,
Yes.
and they seem to be with what I hear Ripple's vision
Yes.
is of what they want to do, and it seems
Watch
like
them
they're
things.
already doing it. So,
Well,
like
you would have
maybe
you'd
not
have to see some.
100%, but
You're gonna the real proof in the pudding would be go look at the ledger. The other
yeah,
one would be to
volume.
verify that
Sure.
they're doing in-house versus out-of-house, right? So a me to you, not just a me to me. Not everything's
Right.
happening in my casino, so to speak, right? We need to be casino A to casino B and casino B to casino A. That would give you the proof in the pudding of how
Yeah, like
fast
if
it
it's
really is.
instantaneous.
Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
is
boom.
it
Right.
on
Right.
Ledger?
Right.
Is it on
Right.
Ledger like our
Right.
bank? Like I say, I sent it to you, do you blah blah
Right.
blah, but
Right.
Or do
really
they have
the back
stores,
yeah, good
Right.
point.
or do they have
Exactly.
stores? Do you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because they very well
Exactly.
might. Because if you think about it, you can go and see how much they have of whatever asset. You know what I'm saying? They actually
Yeah.
are quite transparent about what they have and how much they have of that
Yeah, on the
asset to either
books. Yep.
sell or
Right.
exchange.
hmm
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that part, and the other aspect of it is, at the end of the day, Uphold is the only exchange slash brokerage that was trading XRP when everybody else had delisted it. That means that they have some sort of agreement with Ripple in order to be able to do that. Watch out, because you're going to see them become a central
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah. Huh?
There's a few others.
Oh, I don't disagree, but I so feel like Uphold
Yeah.
is going to end up being some type of a central bank. Now they might not necessarily be
Ooh.
for your bank of last resort, but they will be that type of an entity, I believe, because they've already gotten the licensure for it, and so has Ripple.
Mm-hmm.
They have
But
it.
that's
They
but that's
already
yeah
have
that's
that.
yeah that's
They
banking
have that in
requirements.
Wyoming already.
Yeah, that's banking requirements. If they get at the international level, then definitely got something for there.
You don't think they already have that? They already
No,
have
no,
offices
I don't
in
think
the
I don't think they have
UK.
the full plate because New York and Washington State don't let Uphold play in their box. For you
Well,
to be
wait
at
till
that.
Texas comes
Wait,
on
Yeah, I
board.
wait,
know,
Huh?
I know.
Texas
We didn't even
got
get a chance to
I
talk
don't.
about that.
That's a lot of regulations to get that license. A lot. Like there's
but I feel like they're only holding out on Uphold for the moment. Uphold is going to
but
have
that's what
that
that's where I was
in New
just gonna
York.
go
But
with
I'm
all
just
that.
saying,
That's
in New
exactly where I was
York,
gonna go with all
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, for you
it's
to even like
temporary.
here in the States to get a oh my gosh, a
Yeah, but
banking license,
yeah.
you got to
So
start your own bank,
Coinbase,
to have your own bank in the US, you got to put X amount of millions of dollars. It's got to sit in an account for X amount of years before you even get a meeting with the people to even
but we
talk
don't know
about
how
doing it.
long Uphold has been around. This
Right.
is what I'm saying. We don't know. All we
Well,
know is Uphold is here now, and
they
they
could
And
could
they
have
could have
double
been a whole
applied
down.
nother
for it.
company too. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, Melissa. Yeah,
We
that.
wouldn't even know
and
Right.
how
as of
long.
now, Coinbase is able to sell to New Yorkers XRP.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That just came out within like the last week or two.
Well,
Is that
that's some
Coinbase is
regulatory
now
issues in that jurisdiction.
absolutely, but
Scotty J says Uphold is a Euro company.
it
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
absolutely.
they
It is.
are. Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. That's why I'm saying we don't know what their stores are. We
I,
don't know
I
how many agreements they have with people.
well, and I know that okay, never mind. I don't know emphatically because I haven't looked at the documents, but nope, different brokerage. Never mind. I was going to say they're insured by the Lords of London, but that's a different
No, you're
exchange. That's
thinking of
Caleb and
Caleb
Brown.
and Brown.
That's Caleb and
Caleb
Brown.
and
This,
Brown.
yeah, yep.
That's Lloyd's.
Yeah, Yeah,
But
but
all I'm
it
saying
takes a
is
lot to get that ink on that paper to
it
do with
does,
them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Caleb and Brown. Let's go there. I'm gonna
Okay.
go there.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
Let's
I
talk
told you
about
we're
it.
going another hour.
We probably will. And probably just on this topic right here. All right,
Okay, go ahead.
let's talk about Caleb and Brown. And I'm a person, I will say this, I have an account with Caleb and Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But I got some information, or I got some things that made me go,
Mm-hmm.
about Caleb and Brown. Right?
Uh-oh.
Bye, baby. I thank you. My son was in here and he wanted to say hi.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
Good night,
deuces, my
Peanut.
man. Have a good night.
they told you have a good night, son.
Meta
Yeah.
Man's in the house.
Hey,
What?
Meta Man.
What? Hello,
Meta
I
Man.
am Meta
Hey,
Man
hey.
X.
So with Caleb and Brown, when you started hearing about Caleb and Brown, think about who they marketed to. They marketed to Bitcoin holders and XRP holders, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not only that, in order to be able to get an account, you used to have to fund it with $2,000. They changed that to $500. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's 2. 3. Why was it so easy for us to be able to get accounts with Caleb and Brown?
Not in the jurisdiction.
Okay, that's 1. Okay, but at the same time, you now have a gang load of people that have both Bitcoin and XRP. They are a brokerage, they are not an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1.
Mm.
2,
OTC. Yep. Mm-hmm.
OTC, right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when they exchange for you, they don't exchange it, they buy it.
Yeah.
Why are you now buying all that XRP and Bitcoin now? Not only that, they also do not have a limit of how much you can liquidate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who does that? And who does that for a limited amount of money to be able to have an account that they are not charging you for to have an account?
Mm-hmm.
Who does
Very
that?
interesting. Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay. Then on top of that, we decide to have a liquidity event. Okay. A liquidity event happens, and I'm not saying that it's going to go to this. XRP goes to $10,000. Do you really think they're going to be able to liquidate all those people that are going to be trying to cash out? Now what? Now they not only have your
hot
XRP
dog.
and and they now have your XRP, Bitcoin, and whatever else in their exchange / brokerage. What
Mm.
happens if they become insolvent?
Damn, don't say that. Aren't they insured by Lords of
But-
London?
Well, now, I mean, that could happen with any one of them.
It can. However,
But-
it's also not in this jurisdiction and not regulated as well.
Thank God. Sorry, I'm on a different. For my situation.
I ain't mad at that. All I'm saying is, and here's the thing, and I feel you. Obviously, I wouldn't if I didn't have my stuff over there. I got it there. Not now.
Sure.
I will say, just to be very transparent, whatever I have there is literally only there for me to be able to get my
Mm-hmm. Yep.
my team together. It's not. Trust
Yep.
me, it's not
Yep.
the bulk
Yep.
of
Yep.
anything
Yep.
that I
No,
have.
it
or
don't,
that
yeah, it don't matter.
hypothetically have.
That's
So-
like in the top 10 rules of crypto and digital assets.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So all I'm
Don't.
saying is think before you decide to do something like that. Because I have heard people who are concerned about holding their assets at another place or holding it on an exchange. And my comment to you is not your keys, not your crypto.
Absolutely.
Period.
That's
Okay?
why they ain't
Any
there.
place. Yeah, it doesn't matter what brokerage or exchange you're in. If you don't
just
have
need-
your keys, you just
You just
It's
need to have the account. You just need to have the account over there, right? You don't need to have
That
money in the
part.
bank, right? You're there
Right.
to do. We're there to do a deal. You get 3.5% on the top and the bottom.
That
If it's a
part.
buy and a sell transaction, that's it. But
You
in the
understand?
meantime, it's mine. And if I come by your shop again, I slang my stuff. Cool. If not,
Facts.
hey man, get out.
Facts.
Interesting about the liquidity thing though, because I know
Mhm.
they're doing they have their fund now. Their
Yeah.
their 2 flagship funds. I
Mhm.
found that very interesting. that they're doing. So I was just
And
wondering
aren't they trying
if,
to come up with some type of a custody situation for them as well with Caleb and Brown?
Mhm.
I believe
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, they're utilizing what they already have in play for their storage.
Mhm.
And again, the Lord to London being an interesting factor there, which tells me,
Mm.
okay, they're moving that way. You know, they're definitely moving that way. Like they got insurance, and for all you dipping toers out there in the crypto space, insurance isn't really a thing.
Nope.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you have an account with PolySign. Now, if you do
Some,
have an
I
account with
mean, now
PolySign,
it's there's a lot more. There's a lot more than there today than there was, say,
well,
3
that's the
years
only
ago,
one that I
5
know.
years ago. Oh man, there was
Yeah.
like maybe 10 exchanges that I had found that had some type of insurance, but maybe it just covered the dollars. Maybe it only covered X amount of cryptocurrencies or digital assets they had within the exchange. Right, there was a whole bunch of stipulations. I remember doing a
But
show
see,
way
the
back
difference
in my
with
early. What's that?
PolySign is different though. PolySign has, if you actually have an account with PolySign, the insurance is $50 million. Just
Per
so you
account?
know that. Yes, correct.
What's
Mm.
the language
50
on that?
million.
I'll look it
Yeah.
up. Never mind. You don't know that.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not
asking
sure.
you a real long
I don't
insurance
know.
question right now. That was my bad.
I'm the queen of telling you I don't know if I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
All I know is I do know for sure the insurance on it is 50 million. So
Wow.
if you think about that, you know what I mean? And that's the reason why those that do have the opportunity to be able to get an account with PolySign really do feel secure in that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is nothing more than an escrow. And people need to understand that about PolySign.
There's
It
it.
is
See,
not.
there's that other
See?
jurisdiction that's in play right there.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
You just
Yep.
don't want to put all your eggs in one basket,
In one basket.
right?
Absolutely.
What's good, K buddy?
You know, I mean, so on one hand, I mean, I do think Caleb and Brown is an incredible opportunity when we do come to these where you might want to liquidate some. I don't know. I personally, I don't think I would be liquidating anything, but I would say, you know, like if it costs $500 to open an account, it doesn't cost you anything to
Mhm.
keep it there. And then you're able to transfer money and, you know, do all this kind of stuff once you already have an account. It sounds like it's worth having an account with Caleb and
Mhm.
Brown, but don't put all your money there.
Absolutely not.
I mean, don't put all your money there. But if you're somebody who wants to buy a large amount of, say, XRP, for
Mhm.
example, you can buy
definitely.
it. If you have an account, you can buy it, and then you can transfer it into your own wallet where you have
That's
your
what the heck
keys
you
and
should be
your
doing
keys.
all day,
Yep.
every day.
All
Every
day,
day.
every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Simon just had that up. MetaMan saying the easiest way to buy XRP through a brokerage like Caleb and Brown. We make purchasing XRP easy and accessible, whether you use fiat or crypto, trusted by over 25,000 investors. So, and that, I mean, that is the thing. For you to know what
For
up,
you to
good
know what is
people.
happening. What is happening?
We love
sir. I
you.
hope you are
We
having a
love
great night. Thank you for coming and hanging with us tonight. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate everyone. We've got 134
Yes,
people
yes,
that
yes.
came to see the show tonight, and we appreciate you very, very much.
Totally
Yeah,
honored that you want to spend your Wednesday night with us. My goodness.
no kidding. It's hump day.
Hump
Huh?
day. Hump day.
That's
Hump
right.
day.
Hump day. It's
Yep.
easy now. Y'all
Hey,
got
Simon-
just two left. Two to
Bring
go.
it back. Bring it back.
Simon
Bring it
had
back.
to
Bring it back.
Simon had to crawl out of bed to come in.
I had to. You were talking
I'm
the
thankful you
regulation,
did.
man. I'm like, no, I gotta go talk about this. This too good right here.
Yes.
Because there's gonna be something that I know I'm gonna want to say just based on principle,
Now, I
like
do
the
have to-
Fit 21.
Yes.
You know, Melissa, you said limiting the uncredited investor. They said
The
it
accredited
right there,
investor.
man. And I heard they went into small detail on that. I was like, nope, got to turn it off. I
Yeah.
You're
just got
saying so
emotional
they're
right there. I
limiting.
got to
You're
turn off and
saying
walk away from it.
they're limiting the unaccredited investor or the accredited investor.
The unaccredited,
Okay.
right? So
Well, the beauty of it
the
is,
married couple that don't make $250,000 a year,
Mhm.
or the having $1 million in assets verified by a lawyer and signed and notarized, right?
well, it's going to
So
be interesting because
you know,
they're going to have a whole lot of accredited investors that they weren't thinking that they were going to have. It's going to be
Mhm.
very interesting because a lot of people are going to be grandfathered in regardless of what happens.
That's
You know what I
right.
Yes.
mean? So
Yeah.
when it
Now
comes
that's
down to
interesting
it.
perspective. Like,
Mhm.
I've been wondering, okay, where's the grandfather play going to come in? Because that's
Yeah.
always a factor, right?
But think
It's
about it. You have
always a factor at some
yeah,
level.
but if you have a liquidity event, that in itself would grandfather you in.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Depending
yeah,
on
sure,
what
sure,
you
sure.
hold,
Right,
that
sure,
would
sure.
definitely be the grandfather moment. You know what I mean?
Right,
So I just
right.
feel like when it
I
comes down
made an
to it,
attempt. I could not, so therefore I'm grandfathered in. Right? Yeah.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. You
Cool.
know.
So try to
So
sell at the top, just a little bit, just like
what I
one
wanna ask,
XRP at the
I
top.
know.
Go ahead, Keith.
What I want to ask about and what I wanted to go into, which bill is it that talks about the definitions
Uh,
of digital assets? And I
let
think
me
it's important to talk about that because there's a very clear distinction that they're trying to put forth,
um
you know, concerning the digital assets because this particular bill classifies digital assets as digital assets and restricted digital assets,
yeah.
Hmm.
right?
It,
So your
Hmm.
oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it's not. I was wondering if it was in that CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act, the HR 5403. Does that have definitions in it?
I'm not sure if
Uh,
that's the one. I'm gonna be honest with
oh,
you. I know there are certain bills
I
that
don't.
I've been looking
There's
at.
so much going on
I
right now.
know, I
That's the
know
thing.
it.
When I was looking at different bills to talk about tonight, I'm like, holy smokes. there's
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
there's so many different ones that are floating around, and it's easy to get them confused, actually. even
yes,
even those of us that are listening to, I mean, everything is moving so fast. Like,
yes,
we think it's, some of us, we say, oh, it's just, when is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? It is happening. If you guys are looking at all this stuff, it's moving really fast, and there's a lot of people working on many different things all at the same time.
yeah,
And so, I mean, and it's kind of frustrating too, because all this, the years prior, where, when, for example, when Trump was president, there was none of this stuff going on, talking about, right there. It was all just a bunch of drama and just stupid stuff back and forth. And now we've got, like, there's the structure, everything to
hmm
do with this, and it's just happening so fast to me. Although, I mean, obviously this has been worked on, because before it even gets to this point, there's
right,
been people in the background that have been writing these bills, and then you've got to get the people, the faces, bow tie guy, and all the rest of them to kind of
Oh,
come up
bow
to
tie guy.
speed on what's happening with all of this stuff, and then be able to explain it. And then you got to get your person on the one side that's talking, making their points about it, and the other one, it's just this whole big orchestrated
right.
thing. I wish I knew which one. Does
I
anybody
literally am
know?
on. I'm
Oh,
literally on
Scotty
Congress.gov.
Scotty says FIT21 has the legal
Oh, Fit
definition.
21.
So,
Okay,
well,
perfect.
we were just looking at FIT. Where did I just put it? All right, so that's the financial innovation and technology for the 21st century.
Okay.
So
So it's
I guess,
important to understand the definitions that they have there, right? When it comes to the digital asset as opposed to the restricted digital asset. Your digital assets are pretty much going to be your utility coins and money transaction coins, right? So what they would consider to be like a banker's coin. Those are going to be your digital assets. Those will be considered, useful and needy for people or for business. The rest of the digital assets are going to be restricted digital assets. I don't know what that means when it comes to what they're going to do with restricted digital assets. However, I do find the verbiage very interesting, and I do find the verbiage meaning like of the classifications that they've given. I think it's going to
Oh,
be interesting to see how those are utilized. I
yeah.
see you for you to know. What did you just put up there?
We got the master in the house for you to
Mhm.
know. Oh, subjective views status. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. I can never click on that when it's there.
I was just
So
trying to do that.
I gotta
Sorry.
go to, um,
Just go to
yeah.
the here. I got it. Let's see here. Hold on a second. It'll pop up in just a moment on the feed. I can catch it on the
Stir
feed because
crazy
I'm on.
have Stir crazy. Have a great night. We appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us
Yeah.
tonight.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
so
being here.
much. Love you. Thank you.
Keep it crazy, Stir.
Scotty's got to stop watching C-SPAN.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you
I
got
watch
to. We
C-SPAN.
all.
I do. Absolutely.
Where'd
It's
it go?
important to understand what this is, because this is important to you as a person, not just your family, but you as a
Oh,
person.
he's on
It's going to
X.
affect you.
He posted that
Yeah.
on X.
Who did?
Oh,
Yeah,
he
that's
put
what I was.
he put he just put that on X.
I was trying to find which
Who's
one he
doing
would have.
lives? Who's doing lives for you? Oh, no, now.
Just a matter of which
Oh,
one he was posting of subjective views, though, because I don't know which post it was.
I do not know how to get up on the post. Things I gotta learn. Nope. All right.
I don't know whether it was. I don't know which one. Can't find it. We played one from Subjective Views earlier with Ripples,
Yeah.
Monica, or what was it? The one gal that talking about the tokenomics or the taxonomy. I mean, so I wonder if that was what he was posting or they were posting. But in any event, yeah, it is. The definitions are there. Can we add some pork to the bill where Congress required to disclose if they own or trade crypto? Yeah. Pork. Huh? A lot of pork. Never knew what
Yeah.
that was. How we make the sausage.
What is the pork? Why do they utilize the term pork? What's that about?
I don't know why they call it pork, but the fat that they add in, that they stuff inside different bills, where this is where I get frustrated with the bills, where they're thousands of pages long, and that you've got the left and the right talking about specific issues and saying they don't want to vote for this, when in actuality they're voting against something because there's a whole bunch of other stuff embedded within bills that have nothing to do with what the bill is supposed to be about, and the title, what the title says and stuff. And so maybe they call it pork just because it's like added fat. You're gonna try to get out. You're trying to get on YouTube, like as in have a YouTube channel for you to know.
I think he's talking about watching on YouTube, not necessarily.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was watching from YouTube. False alarm. I'm to the end now. Oh, I'm into the end now. The CFTC. Did you lose your mic, Simon?
Who, me?
Oh.
Nope.
I thought he was.
I did.
Oh.
I did. I did. I've been talking the whole time too. That's funny. On the comment section, when we see it pass through our feed here behind the scenes, it has a little logo by their comment. Oh, is that your White Russian?
No, I wish. We don't have any cream or milk, so I had to have a black. I had a black Russian earlier.
Nothing wrong with Black
yeah.
Russian, man. Still get the job done straight up.
It was good, but I did add a little bit of water to it because I can't drink just straight alcohol. I just can't do that.
You don't put ice in there? That
I do.
constitutes water.
Yes, I did. I had a bunch of ice cubes in there that I topped her off with a little H2O.
Yeah, just a little bit.
The subjective views from the CFTC. Huh. Well, maybe.
Don't laugh
wish
at
I
me.
could-
Don't judge me. I just logged in on YouTube too.
Did you? Huh? You work
I
it,
did.
own it. We have to.
Hey. What's good, kid at 1211?
What's up? So,
Man.
needless to say, I do have to say that this is an amazing conversation. I always appreciate y'all for your thought processes, your conversation, challenging all of those things, the differing viewpoints, thought processes. I love it. I think
Yeah.
that's what
Yep.
we need.
Yep,
And I
absolutely.
think it's important.
Same.
You know what I mean?
It is.
And thank everybody for hanging out with us, man. We've been going hard for like
I love it. We got 163 people in here now.
I'll keep it going. Y'all can go to bed.
can't.
It's only like 7:30 my
I got
time, man.
to.
I got
Oh my
like
God.
another 5 hours that I can
It's
go.
10:30. I gotta go.
No, that's not
Night-night.
gonna happen. My wife will whoop my butt for not being in bed. I already got the free pass. And I said, well, I'm going to play with Melissa.
Oh, yeah, that.
Listen,
If
don't
I
get-
hear her
don't-
name one more time.
Listen, don't
Great
get
show
kicked out
tonight,
to the
Scott.
daggone couch, okay? Don't do it to yourself.
Let me tell you something about it. Let me
Little man
talk.
says-
Let me just talk to the people real quick about the couch. Okay. Let's just talk about the couch for a minute. Now, and I'm gonna talk to my sex group. Okay, I'm gonna talk to the dudes right now. Okay.
Oh,
And,
I was like,
and
wait a
ladies,
minute,
and ladies,
time
listen
out.
up.
You
'cause
talking
what?
about your sex dream? I was like, what are you talking about, Simon?
No.
This is
I'm
different
gonna talk.
show,
I'm
little
gonna
sex
talk to
show.
the dudes out there. Okay. Do not, absolutely do not miss out on the process of picking out a couch. That's rule number 1. Don't miss out on the process. Okay. Right.
Solid.
Rule number two about the couch protocol. Don't cheap out. Don't cheap out. Dude, you can cheap out on the bed a little bit. You can cheap out on the bed frame a little bit. But you cannot cheap out on the couch. Now, I say the couch, some dudes might be like, Simon, man, what about the chair? Dude. Have you tried to sleep in a chair? It's good for a couple hours, but then you got to wake up and get a little comfortable. Don't cheap out on the couch. Make sure it is absolutely comfortable, that you can fall asleep there anytime. Good times, bad times, even if the smoke alarm went off and the sprinklers went off, you still comfortable. So don't cheap out on the couch.
And I could say the same for the ladies also.
Yeah. Don't cheap out on the couch.
You don't want to be. You want to get one of those couches where you got the ottoman that goes in there.
Yep.
Create a bed.
Melissa. Melissa. No.
A Jennifer convertible.
No, because if anybody is going to not sleep in the bed, it is not going to be me.
Oh.
Okay.
The only
I'm
time
just being honest.
The only time I don't want to sleep in my bed is when it's so freaking hot.
That part.
I want to be in a room with air.
Yes.
I don't have air in my room.
And see, that's why
Don't you have air? Oh, I'm sorry. You live someplace different. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't have air. We don't need it. We just
I
open
forgot
the
about
window.
that.
I do.
Listen, can I just let me just add this little tidbit. In Texas, you don't have centralized air, that is an emergency. Do you know
Yeah,
that? In the
true.
summertime, that is
Yeah.
a real life emergency. Like you literally can call the police. I don't have no air. I don't have any air.
I believe that.
I
I'm
need
I
help.
believe.
I'm
That's
so
funny.
serious. Listen, it was 96 degrees today for no reason.
Ooh, oh, ooh.
And then it had the nerve to rain this morning. And then
Oh
it
man,
was screaming for the
we got like
help
5 inches
alert.
of rain
Nah,
past 2 days. Yeah.
you don't know. Listen, I don't even want to talk about how much rain we have gotten. However, it's a high class problem to have because this heat is not going to be cute. It is not going to be cute. All I'm saying is I was concerned that all of my growing efforts were going to be for naught because everything was going to die from how much rain we've had in the last 2 weeks. It's been
Meta
a hot mess express.
MetaMan says a lot of crypto projects started on the couch.
Yeah.
No lies.
See?
No lies, man.
See?
The couch is borderline a sanctuary.
Ah,
You know, for the
why
house
not?
that you live in.
Papa Top, talk crypto. Money Paradise's wife demands a mattress upgrade.
How good your couch, bro?
Yeah.
How good your couch is.
Okay.
You might want to
Sir
test that
Crazy
real
said
quick.
100 degrees in Arizona at the
Oh
moment.
yeah.
That's
Oh
Yeah.
hot.
man.
Arizona is like
Hmm.
that.
Now
But
we know why
here's the
now we
beautiful.
know
Florida's
why the
hot too.
handle's called stir crazy.
I
Yeah,
will say that
I'm
Arizona,
hot.
it is so dry. The
Yeah.
heat is a very dry heat. So because it's very dry, it's not as bad as it seems.
Yeah.
It's not. I spent like 3 months out there in Arizona, and it was absolutely beautiful.
I've never been. I
Um,
want to go. I want to go.
you
My
must.
friend Elise
And
moved there and I want to go visit
mhm,
her. Let me go
I'm gonna
That
visit
tell
her.
couch
you,
sucks.
my first time that I ever in my life hiked,
Oh shit.
I hiked
Sorry.
there. And I'm gonna tell you, please don't take this the wrong way when I say this. I had to laugh because I said this was some white girl shit, and it really was. And it was fun white girl shit. She got me out of my comfort zone, and it was beautiful. And I never thought I would enjoy hiking the way that I did, but it
Oh
was an
yeah.
Mm.
amazing, wonderful experience. And I had to be like, I love you for getting me into your white girl shit because you really
Huh?
got me out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you for this. This was wonderful. And I would have never known that I liked to hike. And it was really cool. So,
Yeah. Hike,
I'm
man.
glad.
Hiking, you know, sometimes you're just like, man, we trying to do all this driving just so I can walk up a hill. I don't know
yes.
about that. Yeah, I mean, are we bringing anything with us to help us
You
you
know what it
know
was? It really wasn't even about that. It was
no.
really just because I like to work out, right? I do. I like to work out. And it was a different type of workout for me because
Oh
there were
yeah.
so many elevations and climbing and
Yep.
walking
Yep.
different
Yeah.
terrains and stuff like that.
But
That was so freaking cool.
see, I get a whole different vibe when I do that. Like the workout gets deleted. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when you at the gym and
That
you're
was
doing your
yeah.
thing, like you just bam, bam, you just trying to hit it hard. Yeah, cool,
Right,
whatever. But
right.
when you out there, man, you be walking 3 hours, not even know. You're like,
Yes, and not even thinking about
you're
it.
like, you're top of the hill. Man, look at this sunset. You're watching the sunset.
Yes.
You're stretching, having some water. Then you're like, hey, we gotta go. It's about to be dark. We gotta get down this
You know
hill,
what I'm
get
saying?
back
We
to the
need to get down
car.
this hill.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
it was a beautiful experience. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. And
So where'd
I
you
was
climb?
thankful for
What?
I was in Casa Grande,
Okay.
Casa Grande, which is like outside of Phoenix and Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually did CG because the way they do their mountains out there, they have them like initials on them, like you
Yeah.
ride by them and they have initials on them.
Yeah. Utah, same.
So I did,
Yep.
yeah. So it was CG, which is Casa Grande.
Yeah.
So, and it was so stinking cool to do it
Mm-hmm.
and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to say, hey,
Yeah, I've been up there.
this
Yep.
once in
Uh-huh.
my life.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, that's
That
good.
was cool.
Yep.
Super duper good, you
Yeah.
know.
That's
And
good stuff.
I didn't kill myself in the process. I didn't break anything.
Boy, you got good luck. Next one might not be
I
so
know.
hot.
Exactly.
You might just want to call that a win. You done. You did your hike for
Yeah.
your life here,
Yeah,
right? That was
man.
it.
Yeah.
No, can't just
I
be
had my
kidding.
one.
one and
I'm
done.
kidding.
No, I really did enjoy it.
That's
And I
good.
would definitely do it again. And even a person like me who's scared of bugs, I still would do it again.
Did it.
I'm
You
not
did
a
it.
I'm not a fan of bugs. Me and bugs.
Bring
we
your
have
tennis
to go
racket.
first.
Get all Serena Williams with it. You be all right.
Hey. And I'll get the kind that's electric.
Yeah. My wife's got one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen those? It looks like
We
it
had
looks-
one,
it looks
man.
like a
Yeah,
tennis-
we
it
have.
looks
It's
like
got
a
the button
tennis
on it.
racket.
Bam.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Oh, you got to get
Okay.
one. It's fun.
It's and they're not expensive. They're like $4.99. Okay, look,
Yeah,
listen.
go to the dollar store
And
and get one.
insect
Where-
lovers, don't judge me because I know y'all gonna be like, see you mean because you up in here killing insects and things like that. However,
You know, Ryan is an entomologist.
She'll give him lots of samples.
He a bug
Mm.
doctor. He knows about
Oh.
bugs.
See,
Is
now you
that-
see why I said what I said. Like,
No,
I'm not
go
saying I
ahead.
try
Go
to
ahead.
kill
Now finish
everything.
it. We already know you a serial bug killer. Just come on out with the
No,
rest.
that's my daughter, not me. However, I don't even have one of those, but I did know somebody that had one,
Uh-huh.
and they were like Monte Cristo with that, trying to just get everything. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
This is an electronic fly swatter.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
I
And
yeah.
need one. I'm getting one.
It zaps the flies. You can find it.
Will it kill?
I don't
Will
know.
it kill those little annoying like jade plant bugs that are flying around my
They're gonna
face?
kill anything that gets an electric charge and dies from it.
Zzz. Huh? Is that what it is?
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
next show, I'm gonna have one, and when these little gnats
Right here.
I
Right here.
around
There it
my
is.
face,
Boom.
I'm
find
It's
it.
right
I
there.
told you it looks like
Look,
a
$5.
tennis
they're
racket.
done.
You can
They're
go to
done.
Harbor
$5.
Freight. I know you got a
I'm
Harbor
going-
Freight out
oh,
by
I
you.
do.
Swear I was
I
gonna
do.
say that, Simon. You took the words right out of my mouth. Go to Harbor Freight. They have
I'm
it.
Yeah.
going.
Right there.
$5 makes you holla.
Yep.
I'm buying
There
it.
you
Hey, there you go.
Kelly
right,
wants to get
y'all.
one too. Kelly wants to get one too.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta go because I still
right.
haven't eaten yet.
I know, same. Guys,
Y'all have a good
we
night.
love you all. 162 people. We
We appreciate
appreciate
y'all.
you
Yes.
coming
Love
to
each
the
and every
Dip
one of you,
and
real
Toe
deal.
Show.
Thanks for being part of the show.
Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you've been watching. It really
Yeah.
will help our channel to grow. And we will see you next hump day
Yes.
on Wednesday at our new time, same 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And
with
don't
that,
forget to come. And don't forget to come
Tomorrow
tomorrow
night.
night and join Melissa and myself for Keeping It 100 with Keda and the crew.
Hey,
It's
before we
all
split
ladies.
off, drop the link. Drop that link in the
Uh,
chat.
shoot.
You got a link for it?
You know what?
Anything? The handle? Anything?
Hold on,
You
hold
got
on,
your
hold on,
handle?
hold on.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got
Drop
you.
that in there. We
I
can't
got you.
just tell the people come to the
Handle-
party and not give them the
handle
invite.
is at
So-
Living Best Life. I'm going to post the link tomorrow
Please
too.
do.
Good.
Oh,
Okay.
Stir Crazy says we're all awesome. You are awesome too, and we appreciate
Aw,
you
you
guys.
definitely do.
Especially those of you that put your comments and your ideas out there. It really does help with the conversation flow. We want to hear more from you guys, and we appreciate whenever you do contribute.
Oh man, they got one that lights up.
They got one who?
I'm gonna
The
get
electric fly swatter. I'm looking at the fly swatter right
I
now. I got
know
one
what I want.
that lights up.
Uh-oh.
It's a. This one says it's a 4-in-1 bug zapper racket, fly killer trap, USB rechargeable, so you can be charging your phone while it's in your pocket with your cord while you're trying to take care of business.
Huh? You know, maybe
Right, so I
they
just
could be an
dropped it in the
official
chat.
sponsor of the Dip and Toe Show because they didn't even know. Like,
They didn't know.
we want to be objective. We don't want to have sponsors in the crypto space. We just want to have like fly swatter sponsors.
Oh my goodness. Well, I did go ahead and put that into the chat. And
You did?
so
Cool.
yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Perfect.
Yes, I did.
And that's going to
So,
be what time? What time is it tomorrow? Is
We're
it 7
starting
Eastern?
at 7 Eastern. I'm sorry, 7 Central, which will be 8 Eastern.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so it gives you enough
Same
time
time.
to be able to get home, eat dinner, all the
Yay.
things, and come hang out with us on Thirsty Thursdays. I'm
And
looking
that's going to be
forward
on
to it.
X Spaces.
Yes, it'll
Yeah.
be on X Spaces, so I'm super duper excited. We'll bring speakers up, we'll chat, we'll talk, and all the things, all the things. Hopefully,
Mm.
you see the actual post that I put up there. It's not showing the link. I don't know why. It's not showing the link in the chat right here, but I
We
did
could
put it
post it
into the
under on X.
Yeah,
We
just
can
yeah,
post the
yeah.
link underneath my post of
and
this show.
yeah, and the
Yes.
dip of toe for tomorrow. You could just put one out.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
that'd be easy.
we
Do it.
will.
Yeah,
So
good to
I
go.
I'll put
definitely
it on this replay.
I want to say I thank y'all so much for all of you all being here, because it is a beautiful thing to hear from you, to chat with you, to answer questions, talk about stuff, laugh, have our libations. Because see, I got my libation right here, and I know that Melissa has hers. So
It's gone.
all
Empty.
day.
All empty.
There it is. I am not at it. So
All right, guys. We love you. Have a good rest of the day, and we will see, hopefully, or listen to you guys tomorrow.
all right.
Until
Okay.
then, see you later. I'm gonna do that. There you go.